Hey, Prime members, you can listen to Crime and Sports early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the app today.
Rakuten is the smartest way to save money when you shop because you earn cash back at over 3,500 stores. Fashion, beauty, electronics, home essentials, travel, dining, concert tickets, and more. Your favorite stores like Lowe's, Levi's, and Nike pay Rakuten to send them shoppers. And Rakuten then passes on a part of that payment to its members as cash back. You're already shopping at your favorite stores. Why not save while you're doing it? It's a no-brainer. Membership is free and easy to sign up. Get the Rakuten app now and join the 17 million members who are already saving. Cashback rates change daily. See Rakuten.com for details. That's Rakuten. Your cashback really adds up.
Your weekly dose of romance and drama has arrived. Season 29 of The Bachelor is here, and Grant Ellis, certified hottie and former day trader, is trading his day job on Wall Street for a second chance at everlasting love. New episodes drop every Monday at 8/7 Central, bringing you fresh twists in Grant's journey to find his soulmate. This self-proclaimed mama's boy is all grown up and ready to invest his heart. Will his playful charm win over the house full of hopefuls, or will the competition prove too intense? From heartfelt moments to adrenaline-pumping dates, each week brings new surprises in the mansion. Will Grant find his perfect match or end up with a broken heart? Tune in every Monday at 8/7 Central on ABC and stream on Hulu for new episodes of The Bachelor.
Everybody, and welcome back to Crime and Sports.
Yay!
Oh, yay indeed, Jimmy. Yay indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmie Whisman.
Thank you for joining us so much. We have a crazy, of course, show for you.
Right.
And this is wild, too, because this is a guy who's played for a very long time in the NFL and very recently, and somehow I've never heard of this guy. I don't know how. And
Really?
I was watching plenty of football when he was playing, and I'm like, how did this guy slip through the cracks on me? Because he's a good player and everything. It's wild here. We'll get into all that. Before we do, definitely and certainly check out shutupandgivememurder.com. Get your tickets for live shows. They're out there. Austin, Texas, you are up next if you're listening to this early.
It's going to be
get
great.
tickets. Can't wait for that. Otherwise, a couple of tickets left in New York and Boston, and that's it. Phoenix is sold out, so get those tickets right now. And if you're listening to this early, you can also, still got a couple days left to get the virtual live show for Small Town Murder too. Check out our costumes. You have no idea how much sweat Jimmie had to let out of his body for that costume. It's very worth it.
Seal it in.
It's such a good story too, and a wild telling. So check all that out. It's a lot of fun. Shutupandgivememurder.com. Then also you want Patreon. Patreon.com/crime and sports. If you like crime and sports and you like all this shit and you want more, this is where you get it. Anybody $5 a month or above, you get a gigantic back catalog of bonus episodes. You get hundreds of episodes that you're going to get immediately. You get new ones every other week. One crime and sports, one small town murder, and you get them all. We just give them. Here you go. Take them all. This week, what we're going to cover, and this is going to be exciting. For crime and sports, we're going to talk about Marge Schott, who don't know who she is. She used to own the Cincinnati Reds.
She's a smidge controversial.
Just one of the worst people who's ever existed. Cheap, nasty.
Yeah.
There's not enough adjectives for Marge Schott. It's going to take the whole Patreon. That's going to be the whole Patreon. Just nasty adjectives.
How she got the team and her treatment of it afterwards is crazy.
Cheap as the day is long. Horrible woman. And then for Small Town Murder, we're going to talk about a really interesting subject that we're going to talk about remote viewing, which is basically like a branch of psychic type deal where people can, and this is like the military used this, and like military intelligence for years and years and years in this country, for decades, really tried to perfect this, where they could get people sitting in a room, and if they had a psychic thing and could focus in enough, they could like see where the terrorists are hiding in their cave and all this type of shit. Yes, remote viewing. This was a military thing and then a psychic thing. We'll talk all about it here.
Sure.
That is patreon.com/crimeinsports. And You get a shout out at the end of the show also, because why not? We want to tell you how much we appreciate you, and we choose to do that by having Jimmie butcher your last name.
That's the best part about it.
It's great. By giving your last name to a man whose reading skills are tenuous. That's how we say thank you.
Like giving your last name and the responsibility to read it to a man who hasn't read a book in 15 years.
That's perfect. That's how we roll here in Crime and Sports. That said, let's get to it, everybody.
Yeah.
This guy, just a real interesting guy here. Everson Griffen. Do you know who this is?
Everson Griffen. Did he play for the Jets?
Vikings for a long time.
Really?
That's what I mean. This guy played recently and had success. He played for the Vikings from 2010 to 2019. Then played for the Cowboys, then back to the Vikings again. He was playing in 2021, so super recently, and I don't know how the fuck I missed this guy. I really don't. I don't know. He's a defensive end.
Yeah. That's how I missed him. Shit.
I mean, shit. But usually defensive ends, it's not an offensive guard.
Yeah, but defensive I can name you probably 20 people on the defensive line.
Still, yeah.
In the history of the NFL. The rest
of it. No, there's a lot. There's tons of
There was so many that
edge rushers, Bruce Smith and fucking Reggie White and all those guys. There's tons of them.
I got those
Howie
too.
Long and fucking
you
can name 1,000 of them. There's fucking Richard Dent. I just name you a ton of them. So there's a lot.
That one too. I got maybe 17 more, man, but that's
there's a lot. But I mean, but recently, if
yeah.
You'd figure Jared Allen, guys like that. We know who that is. Miller. He's playing right next to this fucking guy. How do we not know who he is? So he's born December 22nd, 1987.
That's a great point. Him and Jared Allen are on the same line.
That's what I mean. They're right next to each other. So,
wow.
I don't know. Born December 22nd, 1987. He is born in and grows up in Arizona.
Oh, is that right?
He is from Avondale, the poor guy.
Oh, shit.
Interesting here. Yeah.
What high school we go to out there?
We'll find out. He's a big Agua Fria, if you just want to know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. In Avondale.
Jesus.
6'3", 275. Big fucking guy.
Kid. Yeah.
He's a big dude right there. So, yes, we'll talk all about him. His mother's name is Sabrina Scott. Okay. I guess his father wasn't around, but it doesn't matter. We do know his father's name because his brother's name is Charlie Jr. So I don't know if they're both from the same guy or not, though. We don't know.
Hopefully. Yeah.
No idea.
Then we know his dad.
Then we know his dad. He grew up there. Everybody said when he's a kid, he's a real like rambunctious, kind of a loud, but happy
kid.
But happy.
All right. Yeah,
happy guy. I don't know what Avondale. What does that mean?
Avondale's not a nice place, James.
No. Well, I knew that.
A lot of rambunctious people.
I knew it was kind of. It's what Avondale.
It's almost lawless.
I guess, because I'm trying to think.
Remember when you would go to the Lighthouse to go perform comedy, James? Rambunctious crowd.
I've served papers out there, so never mind comedy. I've knocked on people's doors and said, "You got to get the fuck out soon." So
they shut off your power 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like shit like that. So believe me, I've driven in this and gone, this is a trailer park? There aren't even roads in here. So I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. But I didn't know, like, I don't know. I think of other places as worse, though, for some reason.
Yeah.
I guess.
But I mean, Avondale's the like rough pocket of what I guess you'd call Goodyear's a little nicer north of it. But
yeah,
man, Avondale's tough.
It's
tough.
He's raised with his brother by his mom, Sabrina. She worked full time, but always, everybody said, and he said too, always made sure that they had the nicest shoes. They had Jordans and shit like that, that they weren't, poor or anything like that. Sure. And really took like good, like baby care of these guys too.
Really?
Apparently, our guy here, Everson, never washed a load of laundry or ironed a shirt or cooked a meal or did a goddamn thing for himself as a child because his mother did everything for them.
Mama got it under control, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. He didn't even in high school. He only had one job in high school that we'll talk about.
Where did he work?
He worked, well, it was only for a week. He worked at the dog track at the concession stand.
Oh, at the one in Avondale or the one on
I would assume
Paradise?
I was going to say probably. If there's one in Avondale, I would assume that one because he Why
I think
else
there
would you?
is one out there.
Yeah, probably. It seems like
There used
there'd
to
be
be
a
one
dog
downtown,
track.
too.
Oh,
Yeah.
I remember that.
You remember that one?
Oh, I remember that. Yeah. There was this old pervert that used to invite me to it all the time. He was an old pervert guy. He was like this
Come to
old
the dog track with me?
Yeah, I lived in the same condo complex with him, and he had this little tiny dog and this wiener dog, and he'd take it, and he'd always be like, "Hey, you want to come to the dog track with me?" But he was like a total pervert.
I don't want to go anywhere with you.
He would like always have like young men over.
Oh, boy.
Like not boys of age, like, adult men, but it was like
23-year-old guys.
And I was like 21 at the time, and I'm like, I'm not hanging out with you, you fucking weirdo. I see what you're doing. It ain't happening. So Everson got fired, though, from the dog track.
Really?
I don't know how shitty you have to be at the concessions at the dog track, because that's not the finest of cuisine.
Yeah, pissing in the lemonade.
That's you would have to be.
Yeah.
You didn't make that filet medium instead of medium rare for the last time, and they got tired of it. It's a fucking dog track.
Yeah.
Did you put the hot dogs up your ass first before you put them on the rollers? Like, I don't know what that would take. So he was real into sports, though. He was huge.
Yeah.
And it was always a problem. Like, they didn't want him playing football because he was too big for the other kids. Yeah. He loved baseball, actually.
Oh.
But he broke his arm twice. The second time during high school, not playing sports, he fell off of a roof of a moving car while fucking around with his friends. He was trying to styles it. Yeah, he was styles in it. And that
big son bitch is on top of a car.
Yes.
Wow.
At least that was a van. There's more room.
Yeah.
There's more
room to move.
More room to fucking get your footing up there.
On top of a Corolla is not the best place for
You can drop down flat on the van. You're on the roof of a Honda Civic. It's limited up there.
Your feet are on the hood.
Not a lot going on. So he couldn't throw as well as he could before because he broke his fucking arm. So kind of screwed up baseball.
He was quarterback. Oh, okay. There you go.
So he shifted his attention to football and played his first year of organized football in high school.
Wow.
So he had never played before. One of his coaches said when Ev came in as a freshman, he was bigger than our seniors. He's enormous, and he's not like one of these late bloomer guys like Dennis Rodman or somebody like that who shot up when they were 20. He was huge.
He's big as shit out of the gate.
Yeah, he got pubes and gained 100 pounds and shot up in a foot immediately. One of those guys. So he would physically be able to dominate a lot, and people were comparing him to Terrell Suggs.
Oh, yeah.
Because he came up after Suggs. Yeah. So they were like, oh, he's like a Terrell Suggs, which he's following in Suggs' footsteps again. Because Suggs had a Crime and Sports episode first.
Sure did.
So once again, Ev, you're following right in your boy's footsteps there. So he went to Agua Fria High School, which, by the way, is the same high school that Randall McDaniel went to, the Hall of Fame Vikings offensive lineman. Yeah, he went there as well.
Randall McDaniel's from Phoenix, too.
No fucking clue of that whatsoever. He played as a defensive lineman. Obviously, Griffen. And on the offensive side of the ball, he didn't play offensive line. He played running back.
I dare you to tackle.
Oh, my God. Imagine trying to it probably took 6 kids to take this guy down. That's insanity. So that's fun. One of his teammates said, as a freshman, he was bodying seniors on big league teams. He said, it was like, this dude is going to be freaking talented. I knew he had that ambition, that automatic talent to just be a monster.
Yeah.
If you're big like that and you have a burst of speed, that you're dangerous. I mean, that's just every sport's going to want you. He also excelled in track and field and everything else. Now, he and his mother his mother was an athlete too. So this is...
What'd she play?
Genetics. Well, his mother and he still hold the male and female shot put records at Agua Fria. She
was a shot putter.
His mom's still the female record holder for the school.
She's got to be a tank, man.
I mean, there's big people I think we're dealing with here.
Yeah.
But I guess he was pretty immature in high school football.
Yeah.
I don't know if part of that is he didn't play organized football before that, so didn't know kind of what was required of your...
Yeah, and then, I mean, you can certainly coach somebody to do athletic things. I mean, to line up and where to run and why to run that, whatever. But at his size, he's like Derrick Henry. You just fucking go and shed people. It's not that hard for him.
But if your brain hasn't caught up to your body yet, because if a kid's 14, 15,
Yeah.
You look at him like that and you think of him as an adult, but he's still 14. He's still a 14-year-old idiot. You know what I mean? It's like every 14-year-old. So that's the problem. And they said that his friend said he has no censor, no filter at all, is what his friend said, too. He had a big, loud personality and no filter at all. Lucky for him, he's so gigantic he can say whatever he wants. No one's going to
say boo.
I'm not going to challenge him. Okay, sure. So he's also very popular because he's a big, kind of confident guy.
And a 6'3", 275-pound running back that's probably going to help him win quite a bit.
And he's got mostly A's in classes, too.
Oh, he's a smart guy, too.
Yeah, he figured out which girls to have write his papers and shit for him, which is very smart. That's very, very smart of him to do.
Yeah.
Yes. So as a junior, he rushed for 794 yards on 142 carries and had 8 touchdowns. Also had 12 receptions and 168 yards. And on defense, they would double and triple team him, but he still had 5 sacks, 47 tackles, and 3 fumble recoveries.
I mean, the defense I'm more impressed with because his offense, that's not that great. I mean, 700 yards is pretty good. That's 7 yards a carry, I guess.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if he's the running back all the time or if he's a short yardage guy. Yeah. If you're on the 5, you put him in.
Not a lot.
Not a lot. Not a ton, no. That was his junior year, so who knows. They say entering his senior year, he knew that he was going to play in a big program in college. He was going to be able to do that, but they still thought he was a little bit too immature, all these colleges. So they would look at him and talk to him and be like, he kind of still seems like a
kid.
When
he said fart?
Yeah, that's interesting. One of the friends said here, that's when I saw the big difference. He started making those around him play at a higher level. We had a kid transfer from California who was a little bit of trouble. He wouldn't have made it through our program if Ev hadn't taken him aside and babysat him throughout that year. That's when I realized Ev just isn't just valuable as a player, but also as a leader and a mentor.
Yeah.
Not bad. His senior year, he had 77 tackles, 16 sacks, and a fumble recovery.
There you go.
As a defensive end, and on 159 carries, ran for 1,251 yards.
There you go.
7.9 a carry.
Now he's figured it out.
That's almost a first down every time he touches. There's no reason to do anything else mathematically but give him the ball.
Just run.
And 20 touchdowns, by the way, as well. So
that's good.
Fucking killed it. 2006, his senior season, he was the Super Prep Player of the Year, the Scout.com Player of the Year, a Parade All-American, an EA Sports All-American First Team. I didn't know the video game gave that shit out, but they do.
How about that?
Super.
They give out awards for the guys that have the cheat code.
Well, you can get this guy special. What is this? The Super Prep All-American, a Prep Star All-American, Scout.com All-American, Lemming All-American, Super Prep Elite 50, Prep Star 100, Rivals.com 100, Super Prep All Far West, Prep All-Star West, Scout.com All West, Long Beach Press Telegram Best in the West First Team, Orange County Register Fab 15 First Team, Arizona Republic All Arizona, West Valley View First Team, Tacoma News Tribune Western 100, and the Gatorade Arizona Player of the Year.
He's the best player in Arizona.
That is silly. Yeah.
And probably top 5 in the country in high school.
How big would your head be at 17 years old if you got all of those awards within 3 months of each other?
Yeah, between
God.
January and May, you are just being filleted by every publication in the country.
Every adult that seems to know about sports is saying how wonderful you are. Jesus, my head would be.
Your dickhead is.
Wow, just fucking meaty, veiny cock slapping down on the table. He's also a good track and field athlete. He was one of the state's top performers in the throwing events. At the 2007 4A1 state meet, he won the shot put and discus events. Recorded top throws of 17.67 meters, which is 58 feet in the shot put, and 180 feet 8 inches in the discus.
He's just like an Olympic athlete. He's ready to be born.
He's just a tremendous, large, incredible, strong athlete.
Yeah.
So he also, after his junior year, went to the 2005 Arizona Summer Camp, where he ran a 4.4640.
Fuck yeah.
He's 260 pounds at the time. That is ridiculous, not even fair, silly.
How big he is? Wow,
yeah.
man.
there are 5'10", 205-pound running backs that run 4.46 40s in the NFL. Yeah. Emmitt Smith didn't run that fast. Emmitt Smith, the all-time rushing leader, didn't have a 4.46 40. His was like 4.55 or some shit. It was high. He wasn't that fast.
With the way they've adjusted things too, that record's going to fall one of these days soon. And
no,
that's upsetting.
No,
you don't think so?
Never. That's untouchable. Nope.
You think so?
Running backs are done when they're 28 now.
Yeah, but you got guys.
Who's going to sign? Who's going to sign someone repeatedly to be their starter for big giant money till they're 38 ever again?
I don't know.
Never going to happen again.
That's a good point. They are talking about how little running backs are paid.
They're done.
Now.
They get paid shit because once they're 27, they have. I've seen general managers on podcasts talk about how when it's a math chart. It's like an actuary chart. At 27, running backs production drops off mathematically. So no matter who it is, they're not going to invest big money in a guy past that age.
Frank Gore had 16,000 on the button. That's crazy.
Oh wow, interesting. But he's still
that's a
well
fascinating
short
number.
And there's not going to be a lot of Frank Gores.
He fell 2 incredible rushing seasons short.
That's what I mean. It's not going to happen again. It's not.
You might be right, man. I mean, there's nobody in the top 20 that are still in the league.
The two guys who are at the top, Emmett and Walter Payton, are. Yeah. There's never going to be other guys like that play like they play. Walter Payton played in the 70s, never missed a game as a running back, which is insane. Yeah. For like 15 years, he didn't miss a game, 12 years or some crazy shit. And then Emmitt Smith was a different kind of thing, too. That's not going to happen anymore. Even like your Derrick Henrys, once he's 30, no one's going to want him anymore. He's going to be out of the league.
He's like 28 now.
That's what I mean. He's going to be.
He's in the top 25, James. He's the only one still active.
That's what I'm saying.
And he's got 10-6.
That's what I mean. He's not. He's got to
put 10. He's got to put up 2,000-yard seasons for 4 seasons at 28. You might be right. Nobody may ever touch him.
No. It's like starting pitchers are never going to touch the strikeout or wins records because guys don't pitch that much anymore, and they only pitched 80 pitches a game, 90 pitches a game. So that's Nolan Ryan's record for strikeouts will never be even come near it again.
How old is Derrick Henry?
You'll never know
now. I think he's 28.
I think so, somewhere like that, 27, 28. So, I mean, even now, they're starting to look at him as like, if he pulls a hamstring, they're going to be like, well, who's up next? He's out.
Well, he's having his best season ever right now because of where he's at. And he'd have to do this so many times.
Yeah, even like a LaDainian Tomlinson couldn't hang on that long.
Oh my, James, he is 30 years old.
30, he's done. I mean, he's not gonna have double up his fucking rushing for what he's done so far in his career.
And they gave him $8 million this year, and people were talking about how that's overpaying for him. $8 million is overpaid.
Yeah, but every shit quarterback makes $28 million.
Yeah. Wow.
So,
and I really thought that would change things. Giving them the opportunities with the way the rules are changed now. Like you can't fucking blow up the quarterback. So the quarterback's got all the time in the world to scan the field, and if he can't find anybody, dump it off to your running back, and all of a sudden that guy's got so many more yards. But evidently that's not a thing.
That's the other thing is the game isn't it's not
looking for running.
You're not going to look at 90s Dallas. Nobody plays like that anymore. No. You know what I mean? Nobody plays like that anymore.
There's so few running backs that are really fucking good.
Yeah. Half of these rushes come out of the fucking spread, for Christ's sake. It'll be a quarterback and the running back in the backfield with 5 receivers, and it's a goddamn a delay draw or some bullshit like that. So
and I hate that play so much.
It's so fucking annoying. I don't like it either.
When they pull it on 3rd and 26,
son of a bitch.
I want to throw things at the TV.
And they're 2-yard loss every time. Let's just run 2-yard loss, everybody.
You're already resigned to punting, you son of a bitch. Just punt on 3rd. Fucking stop.
Stop it already. So, anyway, he's recruited by everybody, obviously. Oh, by the way, he also earned first-team all-region honors in basketball as well.
Is that right?
Why not? He earned the nickname The Freak because of his 40-yard dash time and his athletic, not really a nickname.
They just Giannis, but
this motherfucker's a freak, they just said.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. He was selected to play in the 2007 U.S. Army All-American Bowl, along with USC recruits Mark Tyler, Christopher O'Dowd, Joe McKnight, and Chris Gallipo. He ran the 40-yard dash in 4.46. He was the top recruit out of Arizona. Narrowed his college options to USC, UCLA, Arizona, Oklahoma, and Michigan.
Wow.
These are very large football powerhouses. I mean, he liked Pete Carroll's program at USC. They're not going to be there much longer, but okay.
Yeah, but, I mean, who doesn't like somebody that wins by cheating?
Yeah. Well, at that time, they did. Everybody cheated. They just won and cheated.
Yeah.
You know, not like everybody else was fucking square.
Everybody else is on the up and up except for them. Come on.
He also liked their academics because USC is a good academic school.
And he's a smart kid, yeah.
And so he also said that it was close enough to home so that his mom could come to his games, too.
That's big, yeah.
That's a nice thing, too. It's driving distance of home, which is nice. Mm-hmm. And the coach, Pete Carroll, loved him, of course. He said he's always been a potentially great player, and early on you could see that. And so he said he found it in college and then carried it over to the next level, and he's extraordinary. He's as he's grown up, he's been able to capture his opportunity and make the most of it. He's doing all that, and he's a fantastic young man.
Sure.
So he heads to USC 2007. They are 11-2 that year, which is third in the AP poll, but not a national title that year here. Their quarterback was John David Booty. That year.
Really?
Yeah, this is after. I think Matt Leinart was drafted in 2007.
Booty was next, huh?
Booty, yeah, Jesus.
Nice.
Chauncey Washington at running back, Stanley Havel, a bunch of guys like that. Anyway, he's a true freshman and plays. He plays backup defensive end, mainly pass rushing situations because physically, I mean, doesn't matter. So he appeared in all 13 games and started 2. He had 21 tackles, 5.5 for losses, and not too shabby. And 2 forced fumbles, a fumble recovery, 2 pass deflections. Mm-hmm. He became the first USC true freshman to start an opener on the defensive line in 21 seasons.
Wow.
That is a long fucking time. So not bad here. He had 6 tackles and 3.5 sacks against Oregon State that year. Crushed them.
Just against them, huh?
Yeah, so that week. He was the Rivals.com National Freshman of the Week honors.
Sure.
He won that week. And on November 22nd, he had 6 tackles and a sack and a fumble recovery to beat Arizona State. So
he's got to think he is the greatest thing to ever happen.
Everything he touches turns to gold. Just
everything.
Diamond-studded gold before his eyes.
It's got to be so easy.
He must shit and then look at his log and go, yeah. Look at that.
Or he probably stands up, looks at it, and goes, "Oh, that should have been gold too." How come that's not gold?
I don't want to flush this. It's a piece of me, and I'm perfection. I am perfection. It sucks,
I should serve that to someone.
Man, so for 2007, he was named Sporting News Freshman All-American First Team, National Football Writers Association of America Freshman All-American First Team, Rivals.com Freshman All-American First Team, Scout.com Freshman All-American First Team, and College News Football or CollegeFootballNews.com Freshman All-American Second Team. He must have been pissed. Fuck you. How dare you? Plus, he was a Sporting News Pac-10 Defensive Freshman of the Year and was an all Pac-10 honorable mention pick.
Oh.
Fucking killing it is what he's doing. Absolutely killing it as a true freshman, which is wild. Most of the guys don't even play that year.
Honestly,
But they don't play that year because they need to be physically matured to the foot game. Because 22-year-olds are much different than 18-year-olds.
They hit a little harder,
But this guy, physicality isn't the problem at all. Yeah. So as long as he was mature, he could do it. 2008, 12-1 for USC. And third in the AP poll, though. Don't quite win it that year.
Behind the closed doors of government offices and military compounds, there are hidden stories and buried secrets from the darkest corners of history. From covert experiments pushing the boundaries of science to operations so secretive they were barely whispered about. Each week, on Redacted, Declassified Mysteries, we pull back the curtain on these hidden histories. 100% true and verifiable stories that expose the shadowy underbelly of power. Consider Operation Paperclip, where former Nazi scientists were brought to America after World War II, not as prisoners, but as assets to advance U.S. intelligence during the Cold War. These aren't just old conspiracy theories. They're thoroughly investigated accounts that reveal the uncomfortable truths still shaping our world today. The stories are real. The secrets are shocking. Follow Redacted, Declassified Mysteries on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Redacted early and ad-free right now on Wondery Plus.
Have you ever gotten a message out of the blue? Maybe you ignore them. Or maybe you end up in conversation. Maybe they tell you about an amazing offer. I can really show you how to make some money. And maybe that gets you into a lot of trouble. But this isn't a story about people like you, the people receiving these messages. This is a story about the people behind the messages, on the other end of the line. Thousands of them, working in a microcity built for scammers. From Wondery, the makers of Dr. Death and Kill List, comes Scam Factory, a new series about survival at the expense of others. Follow Scam Factory on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Scam Factory early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts.
Mark Sanchez is the starting quarterback. There you go.
Hold the fumble.
Here he comes. Yeah, man, that's that guy's whole legacy.
That poor fucking bastard, man.
Whole legacy.
I don't even want to. Fuck him. He made so much money. He could eat all the dicks, man.
He was such a bad quarterback, too. Just lousy shit.
Made a ton of money, and I don't care. I don't feel bad for him at all.
Threw like my grandmother. He was fucking awful.
So many interceptions.
So he liked to. He's in L.A., by the way. Yeah, so, I mean, he's in L.A. He's a star now.
He's amazing.
He's a USC star. I mean, these are certain things come with that.
Yeah.
The lifestyle and, you know, people kissing your ass and nightlife and all that kind of thing.
You're welcome a lot of places.
No shit. So I guess his teammate Jordan Campbell stayed with him all the time trying to keep him on track, basically. Campbell said, nothing can deter you from being an 18-year-old athlete in L.A. A guy like Everson who worked for everything he had to get the national stage until you go through it yourself. You make mistakes and you grow up. You become a better person. It takes time. Sometimes. In other words, he's like knee-deep in pussy and drugs and whatever the fuck he wants. So it's kind of...
Sometimes it's a distraction.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus, I would assume, man. So... I guess he got into a little altercation with a veteran defensive end named Kyle Moore, and they got in a fight during practice, and then they made up, and they were friends after that.
Sure.
Let's see. During spring practices, Pete Carroll staged a prank by having the LAPD enter a team meeting and arrest Griffen for physically abusing a freshman who was a freshman offensive guard named Matt Meyer that he was fucking beating him around in practice. So it was more of a prank on Meyer than anything, I would assume there, because they told Griffen was let in on it. He knew it was happening. Yeah. So he wouldn't take a swing at the cop or anything, I'm sure. But the joke was on Meyer of, oh man,
you're getting abused out here.
Abused you so much.
Abused so bad, we got to arrest the guy.
Got to arrest him. I guess that's fucking hilarious. He said, yep, you've been physically abusing freshmen. He said, got to do that. So, the officers interrupted a team meeting and played the incriminating video. They even played, like, the practice foot. Look at this. Watch him putting him. Look, you can't do that.
Officers, we want to
abuse.
Report on assault and battery.
Man, they said that rumor has it that further evidence included a footprint on Meyer's forehead that matched Griffen's cleats. That's fucking fun. Yeah. So, anyway, they've been planning it for a while.
Well done, Pete. Not bad.
There you go. So that is ridiculous, but they're very excited about Griffen here. The defensive coordinator, Nick Holt, said he's one of those rare kids you find every once in a while who is really big and can really run. His transition to major college football wasn't too hard.
Okay.
Yeah, when you're that huge.
Yeah, I mean, if I was a really big guy, I'll bet I could have figured it out.
That's what I mean. If they fucking throw another 100 pounds on me, I bet I could have worked with this shit.
Give me 6 inches and 100 pounds, and I'll bet you at 20 years ago, I could figure out how to be a little bit athletic.
A little bit. They said also because he was a freshman, quote, some of the kids felt threatened by him for playing time. So it was really competitive. And in the heat of the battle, fights break out sometimes. Yeah. It was never anything out of the ordinary, but it was because kids don't want their positions taken by younger guys. Yeah. He comes in as a freshman, and they're like, "Holy shit, this guy's up everybody's ass." Yeah, that's the problem here. They want to make him a hybrid end linebacker. All the fucking ends that they do now, the rush ends that they have, and that's the guy
the football player, the college athlete in the half shirt.
Yes, standing at the end of the line that the quarterback's terrified of.
Right.
Which is the I guess kind of Terrell Suggs kind of in the NFL was kind of one of those. LT made it as a Von Miller followed from there. Yeah.
Von Miller learned from LT how to do it.
LT was the guy who first started popping up everywhere and standing on the line and being a linebacker that wasn't playing the run, basically. The linebacker.
Max Crosby does it today too.
Yeah.
There's still a few of them.
You got to be an athlete for that shit though. So,
but that's a fucking frightening dude that just exposes his belly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Doesn't give a shit about the welfare of his innards. He's just willing to expose it all to you. I dare you to take a shot at it.
Go ahead. Here's my abs. Enjoy. I got a fucking half Dolphins shirt on here. Don't sweat it. It's coming.
I'm so jealous of that guy.
I got an 85 Merino practice shirt on. You fucking bring it on, bitch. I don't give a fuck.
Let's go.
You want to be Mark Duper? Be Mark Duper, bitch. I'll throw it right to you. That's fine.
The half shirt is crazy.
It's fucking wild, man. So he said that he loves sacks. Yeah. He said, quote, I don't know how to explain it because it's the greatest feeling in the world. When you're coming off the edge and edge rusher, that's what they always call the guys in the draft, and the quarterback doesn't see you, it's like a free shot to heaven.
I get to fucking
heaven.
Murder this.
I was going to say, does he mean heaven for him, or does he mean I get to murder a man while he stands there?
I get to attempt murder.
That's fucking awesome. They talk about, are you going to, NFL guys like you end up in the NFL with a lot of money, guys with big sack. This is a top draft pick, big money position. And he said it's kind of hard not to think about the next level, but if you think too much ahead, then you get sidetracked. You think about what you've got in front of you first and then work your way to the NFL.
There it is.
So there you go. He's crushing it, though. As a sophomore, he has 4.5 sacks. He's got tackles. He's starting games. He's a big star. He's hanging out in L.A. He's doing everything. Grace here. Yeah, this is going to be Grace. Even though he has
top of the world, man.
A long NFL career, he can't hold this together because July 9th, 2009, two different USC players, Jordan Campbell, remember his buddy that sticks by him all the time, and Everson Griffen, are both arrested in Massachusetts.
What are they doing there?
In Nantucket, of all places.
What?
What do you do? What are you, knocking over a curio shop? What the fuck are you guys doing?
Did you go to Dave Portnoy invite you to his house?
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Did you crack your lobster claws wrong? What the fuck? What up there constitutes a crime? Suspicion of breach of the peace.
Mm-hmm.
The sports information director said, we're aware of it and we're looking into it. The Nantucket police said that they were unable to provide details of the incident.
Okay.
That's what they said. So, and they end up not being charged, apparently, later on. They were cited for violating Nantucket Island's noise bylaw. Here, they were identified as hosts of a party that emitted a noise more than 100 feet from the property during restricted hours. So they had a loud party all night with a bunch. It's fucking Nantucket. It's a bunch of rich old people.
And what
rich hedge fund managers and fucking people like that.
What decibel distracts people and angers people unless you're in a place where that doesn't happen?
That doesn't.
You know what I mean? They had to get like an Airbnb and they're destroying that motherfucker.
They want to hear the water.
Yeah.
The little hear the tinkle of the water on the rocks out there. That's what they want to hear.
Unless you're in a place where that is welcome. You know what I mean? Because I'm sure there's places where you get loud, but for the most part, Nantucket is not that.
That's the last place I would say. Let's fucking have like a rager in Nantucket. That's not the place I would do it.
Pack it up, guys. We're going to Martha's Vineyard, and we're going to tie one on.
It's on. After that, we're going to hit Kennebunkport. We're going to go to the Bush family compound and blow those motherfuckers' minds, bitch. This is old people and hedge fund managers from Manhattan that have places.
Ladies, take your tops off. We're having a big beach party in fucking West Palm.
Oh, God damn it. So they don't get in trouble. They must write a letter of apology to the town of
CEO of whatever.
They have to do that, but that's it. No other action will come from it, though. Carroll declined to specify what discipline, if any, they'll face for this. You're gonna. Right. They didn't get arrested. They didn't commit crimes.
It's a noise complaint.
They had a loud party. They're kids. Right. You go, yeah, okay. Turn the fucking radio down next time, stupid. That's it. Who gives a shit? So, not a big deal here. 2009 USC 9-4. They are.
Okay.
Not going well now.
It's falling apart.
This is right before. I think Pete Carroll goes in 2010.
Did he?
I think this is might be his last year here.
You might be right.
Positive. Maybe, I think.
He may have been gone before it, though, before the decline. I don't know.
Well, 9-4 is a decline.
That's still Pete?
That's still Pete. Yeah, Pete's here for 2009. He's there the whole time. So I think that made him go, those NFL offers still hot?
At 9-4, the NCAA is going to At 9-4, the NCAA is going to start looking at the past years. I got to get out of here.
I got to get the fuck out of here. Yeah, they were 22nd in the final poll that year.
Oh,
so not quite the same. Matt Barkley now, the quarterback. Okay. Yep. So Sanchez is gone, and now we got Matt Barkley. They have so many bad quarterbacks there.
How did they do it?
Well, they're college quarterbacks. Same thing with Florida. Florida's the same way. Danny Werfel, Tim Tebow, all these guys that in the system, they're good quarterbacks. But the NFL, you have to be great at everything as a quarterback. Yeah. And you have to have an arm that's truly remarkable. Yeah. You have to be able to zip that fucking out route at 25 yards, and not hang it up for a second because that cornerback who runs a 4.3 40 is going to fucking take that thing.
And you have to be a leader that's on a communicative same page as that receiver because your ball has to come out perfect, zippy, and on target before that receiver gets there. So you got to know the route he's running. Yeah.
Not only that, you're a leader of men now. Not children.
Not boys.
There's guys with 3 fucking kids and 2 ex-wives and shit.
They don't give a fuck about. They don't give a fuck about the sorority party this weekend that you're going to get all these girls to come to.
They got a sore knee and an alimony payment to make. So you fucking get your shit together and take us down the goddamn field. That's who you're dealing with, though. People with real issues.
And a child support check that I got to cut to someone in 3 states ago from 3 teams ago I played on.
And I got to pay my mom's mortgage and I got to get this and that and fucking everything else. Yeah.
Mom's getting up in age. She's got heart medication. God damn it. Throw that ball.
Time. Yeah. Some 34-year-old offensive lineman ain't hearing that shit. Let's go, bitch.
I don't give a fuck about what they're playing in the club.
Fuck no. Doesn't matter. So that year he's got 8 sacks in college and just still doing great. Second team all Pac-10 and, really good. After the win over Boston College in the 2009 Emerald Bowl.
Sure.
That's not one of the, that shows you how far they dropped.
Is that?
I have no Ireland. I have no idea. No clue. Griffen announced he will forego his senior year of eligibility and enter the 2010 NFL Draft. You know what?
Yeah.
Let's. His announcement should be. I think it should be told with music behind it.
Sure.
I think we'll let him tell it in their own words. Quote: in college, I could have maybe won Defensive Player of the Year and all of that, but I was just a young boy partying. It was all about, okay, I know I have to do enough to get drafted, and I know I'm better than a lot of people, but I wasn't really locked in like that in college. In the NFL, you can't just show up and play. You got to study, you got to work out, you got to practice hard.
He didn't know.
No, I don't think he knew that ahead of time, but I think he knew going into it now, like, okay, now I can't do this anymore, basically.
Yeah. He's just starting to figure it out. That's good.
Most people never figure that out.
Yeah.
Or they 5 years into the NFL, once they've been like, shit canned from one team, then they figured it out. But
he said this shit before he was drafted, huh?
Yeah, he said this shit like, I know I fucked. Or he said it after he got drafted. He's like, I know I fucked around a bit in college, but in the NFL, I'm there every goddamn day. In the scouting combine, 6'3" 3/8", 273 pounds, an electronic timed 4.66 40. Which is still great for a 273-pound defensive end. That's amazing. Right. And bench presses 225 pounds 32 times.
How much?
32 times.
No. How much
225.
God damn.
His 40 time was second best among defensive linemen, and his 32 reps were tied for 6th best.
He's doing reps with 225.
Reps, and he's running a 4.6 fucking 40 at that size. Yeah. He was one of the most scrutinized prospects entering the draft. But then we got in here, and then everyone was like, oh, shit, this is for real. Because they were like, is it real? Is he really that much of an athletic guy?
Got it.
You'll get that, where the USC coach is driving up saying his numbers were better. But no, 34-inch vertical jump, by the way.
Golly.
34 inches for a guy who has fucking 275 pounds is incredible. Yeah. Imagine if he dropped 75 pounds. He'd fucking float through the air.
Yeah. I mean, the big guys like that have incredible legs because they got to carry that giant fucking meatball around. But
most guys can't jump like that at that size.
That. You don't get
Jesus
that much
Christ.
spring. That's great.
That's
and to be on the line, being 6 foot and jumping 34 inches,
incredible.
And your arms in the air.
Yes.
The quarterback's got to get 12 feet aloft on that ball before it gets over the line. Golly.
It's pretty goddamn impressive. So the 2010 NFL Draft. Yeah. Here we go. The let's see. The Offensive Rookie of the Year that year before was Sam Bradford.
Oh.
Or it's this year because he's the number one draft pick.
Yeah.
2010.
And
Sam
fuck him
Bradford.
Too.
Yeah,
that son of a bitch made so much.
So he had $50 million guaranteed when he signed. By the way,
oh my God, I think he made 160.
We looked it up that one time.
It was a crazy number.
Never done a fucking thing in his career.
I think he won 6 games.
Nothing. And Ndamukong Suh is number 2 overall.
Okay. Again, a guy made shitloads of money.
Yep, Trent Williams, Eric Berry, guys like that. Yeah. Pierre Paul is number 15 overall. So that's pretty nice there.
Super Bowl winner, lots of money, good for him.
Not too shabby at that at all. That's pretty goddamn impressive. So yeah, he's Pierre Paul. That's a defensive end. A lot of defensive linemen here. I mean, 2 out of the top 3 picks are defensive tackles.
Wow.
Then you got Brandon Graham, Pierre Paul, Derek Morgan, all these defensive ends going in the first round, and not him though.
He didn't go.
Doesn't go somehow in the first round. That's what I mean. There's some kind of stigma attached to him for something.
What do they know?
That's what I mean. They know he's kind of a little whatever. I don't think a Nantucket party could have caused this because the second round Gronkowski's picked for Christ's sake, and he's a moron.
Wow,
so
yeah, he's a dipshit.
This is the Aaron Hernandez draft.
Is it? Oh, wow.
It is because in the 4th round, I believe, 4th round, the 100th pick overall, Everson Griffen is taken.
Uh-huh.
So he's taken 4th round. It took to get to him. 100th pick, and then with pick 113, Aaron Hernandez was taken.
How about that? The Vikings almost got him.
Almost. They could have had him, goddammit, but they didn't. Who picked? I was got to look at the pick right after. Okay, by the way, Baltimore picked Dennis Pitta, Pitta. Remember him?
Yeah.
They picked him the pick after Aaron Hernandez, another tight end.
Wow.
Didn't have as much as he's going to be the shit, but he didn't murder anybody. So, and he played till 2016.
Yeah, he had a long career
because he had no murders. So that works.
Aaron Hernandez played till 2016 too, didn't he?
No, 2012 he was done.
Really? It was that long ago?
Yeah, he only played for 3 seasons or something, and then he was done. Yeah, after the second season, they gave him that big deal, and then he got got in trouble. That was it. Yeah,
that was that long ago.
I think it was. Yeah, that was a while ago.
Wow.
So he says about this. They said, "Hey, you got drafted so low, and you're such a great player. Why?" And he said, "I should have gone higher, but I was a knucklehead. Character issues. I was a wild cannon." I think loose is what you're going for. Yeah, people knew.
Wildcat, loose
cannon,
together.
That's it. He said that he's thankful that he was drafted in the 4th round later because it made him work hard.
Okay.
Because you're not guaranteed to even make the team on the 4th round. So
sometimes being a loose cat will get you some things.
So had he been a 1st round pick and got tons of guaranteed money, that would have just been an affirmation of whatever he was doing.
Right. Yeah.
And he would have kept doing that, he said. So he said he probably wouldn't have been playing football more than a few years if he was a top pick like that. So in 2010, he meets his future wife in a club.
Oh, which one? Do we know?
We don't know where, but he meets her in a club in 2010. Her name is Tiffany.
Yeah.
And they connect. I don't know, somewhere. Yeah. She told her roommate she'd met the man she was going to marry.
Hell yeah. Over there, the gay 90s.
Oh, baby. Maybe it was. July 27, 2010, he signs a 4-year, $2.33 million contract, which is, not a big contract for football because it's a 4th rounder.
But it's a lot of money for a boy from Avondale.
Makes the team. Yeah. He makes the team, too. Record of the Vikings that year, 6-10.
Ouch.
They go through 2 head coaches. That's Brad Childress and Leslie Frazier, neither of which did any good. Yeah, not too great. Just not a great team overall.
That was the end of Childress, because Childress was there for, 6-8 years or
something like
just
that.
Just losing his balls off.
This was we'll bring in Brett Favre and maybe he could fix it year. Or he's 41. Yeah, 41 and not working out. The Jets didn't see that season, apparently, because they did it. They've done it with him and then again, too.
Yeah.
They really love doing that. So he was inactive for the opening 5 games of the season and then played in the final 11 games, finishing his year with 11 solo tackles. Okay. And but this is on the team. I mean, it's Jared Allen and guys like that are on the line. So he plays on special teams mainly because there's nowhere to break into that line.
Sure. And Greenfield, I think, is the other guy on the other end.
It was Pat Williams, Brian Robeson.
Pat Williams.
Yeah. Robeson said, we were a little hard on him. He'd come in snot-nosed, little rookie, a little cocky, so we had to knock him down a few notches. It was fun, but definitely seeing him mature over the years has been great. He's not afraid to ask questions, whether it's about football or life. He'll talk to guys and figure out the right way to do things.
Okay.
So that's it, though. 11 games, 11 tackles that year. That's not much going on for him.
Kind of a
tackle a game, special team stuff. So these are just special teams plays, and he's not really a pass rusher for them. Sure. January 28th, 2011, he gets in some trouble. Now he has a rough week this week, we'll say.
Oh?
He's arrested on the 28th for public intoxication in Hollywood, California. So
why did it go there?
Because USC. It's where everyone knows him.
January,
3 years over. 3 years that you're going to stay in fucking Minneapolis in January when you can be.
And he's not playing in the playoffs.
No,
it's over.
You can be ass deep in mostly naked women before before anything even happens. You don't even have to buy him anything. They're already 3/4 naked.
Yeah,
he sees that as an advantage.
And water is liquid here, so we'll be here.
Yeah. You got to get through 5 layers and a parka in Minnesota, so it's a little different. This charge will be dropped. I don't know any details about it because it just came up that he got arrested for this, but then the charge will later be dropped. But 3 days later, he has another problem.
Uh-oh.
January 31st, 2011 here, he is arrested for allegedly assaulting a police officer after a traffic stop.
Uh-oh.
Can't do that, I don't think. That's not good. The police officers needed to use a taser to subdue him after a struggle after he tried to flee on foot. Those cops must be pretty fast if they caught him, first of all.
Yeah, no shit.
Jesus. According to reports, he was arrested, this is twice in 3 days here. Yeah. He was publicly intoxicated the first time, then arrested for the felony charge of battery on a policeman.
Shit.
It's considered, by the way, in California, it's considered a, quote, wobbler, the charge, which means it may be filed as a misdemeanor or a felony depending on the circumstances.
Okay, depending on how it lands.
Yeah. Battery on a police officer is punishable by a fine of not more than $10,000 or by imprisonment in county jail for not exceeding 1 year or in the state prison for 16 months, 2 or 3 years, or both if that fine and imprisonment. Okay, so he's released on $50,000 bail about 9.5 hours after he was arrested. I guess he was booked on battery. The officer says here felony battery is due in court here. They said, where is this? Yes, they said the team said we're aware of yesterday's alleged incident involving Everson Griffen. At this time, the team's gathering all the facts and will withhold further comment. Obviously,
we're not going to jump to conclusions around here.
But he's got a court date, so we'll figure it out then. Now, his childhood best friend Jeffrey Bennett, said he called him a few days later and said, when you make bad decisions, what will you do? He asked him. Will you say, I could have been this, or do you want to say, I did that, I made bad decisions, and learn from them? Yeah. He said, you're following in the footsteps that you said you wouldn't do. I know immaturity happens, but at the end of the day, ask yourself, who will I really be to be better tomorrow? Who will I really be to be better tomorrow? It was a weird way to put it. That's what he said to him. I'd go, motherfucker, I don't even understand what you're saying. Do you want a better tomorrow? What are we talking about?
That's why he's getting in trouble, man.
You're
speaking
confused.
riddles to the poor dummy.
He's confused. That's the problem. Real just doesn't know what anybody's fucking saying here. So February 5th, 2011, after he's been arrested twice in the last calendar week here, he decides that he's going to cancel his Super Bowl party in Las Vegas that he was going to throw.
Oh.
Yeah, can't do that shit. He wanted to throw it, actually, but he was asked in text messages. The coach was asked whether he suggested to Griffen to shut down the party, and Leslie Frazier, the coach, responded, quote, something like that.
It was
hey,
encouraged.
stupid, let's not go partying and making a fucking fool of yourself after this shit.
How about you don't? Yeah.
Yep. Griffen wrote on Facebook that the Vegas Trip Super Bowl weekend has been canceled because, quote, the NFL has made the decision that this event has got too much media coverage and we're not allowed to bus people to Vegas.
Oh, wow. He was going to do
bussing
what?
people in. Wow. He said that he canceled the party because he said, quote, it was too big a risk. I'm a football player. Your coach told you to, and you've been arrested twice in the last week or else nobody would have cared.
And you are planning a fucking banger with
Jesus
buses.
Christ, man. That's fucking wild. So he said I guess he had advertised it as the vacation of your life and invited anyone willing to pay $100 to partake in this all expenses paid weekend to Vegas.
$100.
This was like an old school, like we're all going to the Super Bowl in like 75 or something. $100 and we rented a bus. There's cold cuts on there. There's coolers full of beer. We're going to have kegs and we're going to go down there. You get the game and you share a room in the Motel 6 with your buddy.
And he was going from L.A. to Vegas?
I guess so, or Arizona to Vegas, or anywhere. I guess, I'm assuming there's pickup spots, I would think. I'm not sure. He ends up pleading guilty to the assault on a police officer and receiving a fine and probation time.
Okay.
So 2011 Vikings, let's see if he can make a better showing of himself here. They are 3-13 this year.
Yeah, it was abysmal for these poor people. Vikings fans have been through it, man.
They have, and they let Leslie Frazier just take it all on the chin. 3-13. Like, listen, buddy.
Poor guy.
It's going to be bad for a while, and you're going to be the guy that's going to take it. Then we're going to fire you, and you probably won't get another job. So that's how this is going to work. They got Donovan McNabb that year to come in at 35, and they also had Christian Ponder as a rookie who was fucking terrible also. Yeah, not making great decisions here.
God damn.
At all. This year he plays in all 16 games, starts 0, but he does have actually some non-special teams games. He has 4 sacks that year.
Okay.
So gets the quarterback a little bit. 2012 Vikings, they're 10-6 that year under Leslie Frazier. So brought him from 3-13 to 10-6.
That's not bad.
That's pretty fucking impressive, honestly. That is really, really good. Good for him.
Generally, he'll make the playoffs but you're with the Packers, the Bears, and the Lions. I mean, the Lions at this time stunk.
Depends. Yeah, this is the beginning of Adrian Peterson here. Okay. They had Christian Ponder starting all 16 games, but Adrian Peterson was, as we know, would carry the goddamn load for them. I mean, he was a beast at that point.
Shit out of
I was like,
the whole way.
Just whooping their ass. That was his motivation.
Such a monster.
The more touchdowns, the more lashes he would give out. That's how it worked for him. He marked down his touchdowns with lashes on his son's back, I feel like.
Got to put another notch on the kid's back.
No shit. I think this was his 5th year that year, probably, Adrian Peterson. So in October of 2012, here, Everson and Tiffany get engaged.
All right.
Tiffany's 6 months pregnant with their child also.
That'll hasten it.
That'll do it quickly. I'll make it quicker. Their son's name is going to be Grayson eventually.
Sure.
And his mom came to visit and all that kind of shit. He was very excited. 6 days after their engagement, Tiffany arrived at the condo to find Everson's mom, lying in the stairwell.
What?
Which isn't, I guess, her normal place of hanging out. Yeah. Turns out she had a spontaneous artery dissection, which is when a tear forms in one of the blood vessels in the heart and blocks the blood flow, and she died instantly, just dropped dead on the stairwell. Bang, hit the ground. Couldn't have been predicted, couldn't have been found, just a freak thing that happens sometimes, like an aneurysm that just pops up. Gone.
Just heart came apart.
Boom, I'm done.
Oh, my God.
I pumped my last pump, and I'm out.
What a fucking nightmare.
She was only 52 also.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So she wasn't even 85, and it's like, well, what do you want? Your heart's weak. It's seen enough. No, 52.
I mean, I saw the Olympics, and I saw how big people are that throw those shot puts. So I
just
just hope
she's probably a big woman, but still.
I just hope she was really big and her body couldn't take how enormous she was of an athlete.
Wow.
Because otherwise, I'm going
terrifying.
to the doctor tomorrow.
Every step you take, that could happen.
Every step you take is fucking luck, you guys.
It's terrifying, isn't it?
Jesus Lord.
Every step you take is death. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Hope your heart doesn't come apart. Goodbye.
Oh, man. Hope your heart just doesn't explode in the middle of you walking down a stairwell at your son's condo.
Incredible, man.
So he missed several days of practice to attend the memorial and the funeral. I almost said funeral.
The funeral.
I almost said to the funeral. Funeral, but he played the Vikings game the following week, though. Okay. He said, when my mom passed, it was really, really hard on me. Well, yeah, I would think so, unless you're a monster. Passed away.
Fascinating way to say her fucking heart erupted.
That is a nice way of saying my mom's dead, and I don't want to say dead because it's my mom and I feel bad.
Because it hurts a lot.
It hurts my heart, and I'm worried about that, so I got to stop feeling like that. Yeah. I put my issues to the curb. I felt like I had to just keep moving forward. I didn't process it for a long time.
Oh, boy.
Plus, you're in the middle of an NFL season, and you have a kid being born real soon here. Now, There's a lot going on here. And his son was born January of 2013, I'm sorry. His middle name was a tribute to his mom,
Tiffany?
Scott. It was Grayson Scott Griffen after her last name here.
Wasn't her first name Tiffany or Stephanie or some shit
Sabrina.
like that? Sabrina, right.
Yeah. Sabrina. Names. Yep. Tiffany, the wife, said Sabrina was so excited about the baby on the way. She's already bought him gifts and was so full of joy. If she were still here, she'd probably be living with us and loving every minute of it.
Really?
So Tiffany's like, so I had her murdered because I can't take that shit.
I loosened a step.
I didn't marry an NFL player to have this old bag hanging around fucking cramping my shit every 5 fucking minutes.
Mom in the house.
So this year, 16 games. He starts one game. So he still only started one game in 3 years. Mm-hmm. Tough line to break into, which is probably why the Vikings didn't take him earlier. He starts one game. He has 8 sacks this year, though. I mean, 8 sacks for a non-starter is tremendous.
Yeah.
That's great. I mean, a lot of starters don't have 8 sacks, so that's really great. And
8's tough to get.
And an interception as well. So and 2 fumble recoveries. So he's doing pretty well. Not too shabby here, I would say. 2013 Vikings back to 5-10-1.
Uh-oh.
You had it and you lost it, Leslie Frazier. Now
what happened?
You're back down again here.
Is Christian Ponder your starter or something?
Is he still your starter? Jesus Christ. I think, didn't Ponder get hurt that year? Josh Freeman started one game for them.
Oh, no.
I remember that. They had injuries. I remember this pretty clearly. They signed Josh Freeman because Tampa had dumped him.
Yeah.
And they signed him and started him that week or some shit, if I remember correctly, because they had
the bed for fucking 16 weeks.
I assume so, just because A, he just got there, and B, he's Josh Freeman, so I would assume he fucked up. Christian Ponder started 9 games that year. So who's the other quarterback? I got to find this. I got to find out who's the other loser.
It must have been.
Only one game for Freeman.
Was it not the guy from the Eagles?
Matt Castle, the other guy.
Get the fuck out.
Matt Castle, the backup
because he had fucking
Brady's
3.
Backup.
He had 3 good games. So they signed him somewhere
on a Super Bowl team.
Yeah.
Yeah, he Scott Mitchell'd them basically.
Yeah, he's like, I've got a ring.
You.
How many of you motherfuckers got a ring?
Well, Scott Mitchell didn't have a ring, but he just had 3 good games as a backup. And Marino got hurt, and the Lions gave him shitloads of money, and then he was back.
Bitch.
Gotcha.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this White Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. We're going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles.
A big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud.
Sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.
He was hip-hop's biggest mogul, the man who redefined fame, fortune, and the music industry.
The first male rapper to be honored on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Sean Diddy Combs.
Diddy built an empire and lived a life most people only dream about.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up.
But just as quickly as his empire rose, it came crashing down.
Today I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution.
I was up. I hit rock bottom, but I made no excuses. I'm disgusted. I'm so sorry.
Until you're wearing an orange jumpsuit, it's not real. Now it's real.
From his meteoric rise to his shocking fall from grace, from law and crime, this is the rise and fall of Diddy. Listen to the rise and fall of Diddy exclusively with Wondery Plus.
A few miles from the glass spires of Midtown Atlanta lies the South River Forest. In 2021 and 2022, the woods became a home to activists from all over the country who gathered to stop the nearby construction of a massive new police training facility, nicknamed Cop City.
At approximately 9 o'clock this morning, as law enforcement was moving through various sectors of the property, an individual, without warning, shot a Georgia State Patrol trooper.
This is We Came to the Forest, a story about resistance.
The abolitionist mission isn't done until every prison is empty and shut down.
Love and fellowship.
It was probably the happiest I've ever been in my life.
And the lengths we'll go to protect the things we hold closest to our hearts. Follow We Came to the Forest on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus.
Back to being Scott Mitchell. So again, this year, 2013, plays in all 16 games, starts 0.
Really?
I don't think this is the career he was looking for here.
Yeah.
5.5 sacks, though. He's making the best of what he can do. Sure. March of 2014, he gets a new deal. They sign him because I think they realize, too, we're not even starting him and he's getting sacks.
Right.
And someone's going to sign him. So they give him a 5-year, $42.5 million deal. That's better.
That's
now we're talking. Yeah. Now we can sell that condo and move into something with our own fucking walls.
Now we can get a foundation that doesn't have walls attached to other people.
Own walls. Somebody sets their shit on fire. I don't care. Not going to affect me.
The only reason we have a gate is because we want the home gated.
That's $20 million guaranteed.
Golly.
That is impressive, which is he hasn't even had a big year yet. Yeah. That's the crazy part. They're just banking on a breakout year here. They said he fills in at both end spots, rushes from a defensive tackle spot on third downs. He's very versatile, so they like that. Also, he'll drop into coverage, and he intercepted Sam Bradford in Week 15 because he's terrible, and ran it back 29 yards for a touchdown in a key win against
he got a pick
the Rams.
6 on him.
Pick six
that's so embarrassing.
Also secured the Vikings' first win of 2013 by sacking Ben Roethlisberger, forcing a fumble that ended Pittsburgh's potential game-tying our drive.
Ouch.
So not too shabby here. I guess they were talking about a new deal all season and then finally came to fruition. Next year, Leslie Frazier is gone. Mike Zimmer is in here now.
Oh, boy.
Another one of these fucking nameless, mediocre
I think
coaches.
Zimmer came from Detroit after this.
I think so, too.
Yeah.
7-9. Or was it the Rams? Did he come from the Rams? I don't remember. Either way,
I don't remember.
7-9 they are that year. So not that great. Teddy Bridgewater starting 12 games. That's when they drafted him. So Teddy Bridgewater starting 12, Matt Castle starting 3. That means there's a game floating somewhere. Where are you? Where are you?
Somebody. That's stringer. 2 games.
Christian Ponder now down to 1 start. He went from 16 games, 9 games, 1 game. Done. Bye, Christian Ponder.
Bye, Mr. Ponder.
Wow. First round draft pick. In
Christian,
3 years.
Practice this race. Welcome to Christian Ponder GMC.
Yes. Welcome to Christian Ponder State Farm branch. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So prior to the 2014 season, Jared Allen signed with the Bears.
Okay.
So Griffen earns the starting right end position and has a breakout year, 57 tackles, 12 sacks.
Holy
and
shit.
Doing fucking great. Yeah. Minnesota, the defensive line coach, said he had a lot of raw talent in 2014. He was still learning how to be a pro football player, and he was figuring out who Everson is as a person. We've had several conversations on what his legacy is going to be as a man. Over time, I think those messages started to set in, and he's starting to live his life that way.
Yeah.
They said he worked out incessantly, and he began using his off day to pore over film, breaking down opponents and finding potential weaknesses, like great players do.
Right. Yeah.
Unless you're, fucking Lawrence Taylor and can sleep through meetings and still terrorize everybody. Yeah. Unless you're that guy, you got to study every goddamn day. Yeah, there's been 4 guys that can do it without doing that.
Yeah.
Not many. So he also scheduled massage therapy and acupuncture and bought a hyperbaric chamber.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy. Holy shit. One guy said here, the thing I like about Griff, now he's Griff, not Ev.
Now he's got a nickname, yeah.
Is it doesn't matter how talented he is. It doesn't matter what accolades he's getting. He works hard day in and day out, and he's going to put literally everything he has into it. That's Robeson, the other teammate. He seems to be more in tune with how offenses work, and off the field, he's become a family man. He's all about his kids and spending as much time with them as possible. He coached his son's soccer team this year. What is he, 2.5?
Yeah. What?
Jesus Christ, that must have been a mess. The balls are as big as the kids.
Yeah, dude. Oh, it's the most miserable. It's like watching goldfish racing. It sucks so much.
It's got to be just like kids kicking each other in the shins over and over again, right? They have no control over where that's going.
Jesus, it's so bad.
Oh, my God. He said he didn't want to do that. He didn't want to be a head coach. He said too many parents yelling at you. Can't deal with that.
That is that, too. That sucks.
That is big shit. He was named NFC Defensive Player of the Month in October after recording 6 sacks and a forced fumble in 4 games.
Oh.
Not bad. So does very well this year. 2015, his second son is born, Ellis.
Yep.
Who should be out on the soccer field any minute now, I would think, if he just... By mid-2015, he's out there in his diapers. 2015, 11-5 under Mike Zimmer.
Okay.
Not too goddamn shabby here. Who's quarterbacking this year? Teddy Bridgewater, all 16 games.
Yeah, I think he got 3-4 years out of him.
They did, yeah. He was good. He's just injury prone. He was too skinny. That was the problem. This year, 15 games played, 10.5 sacks for Griffen, and he's a Pro Bowler now.
How about that?
Look at you. He's made fucking good on his contract and everything. He's doing great. 2016, back to 8-8 for the Vikings. I think Bridgewater was hurt this year. This year, but Sam Bradford is now their quarterback.
Oh, wow.
Remember that? Yep, I remember that.
Rams to the Jets to them? Is that what happened? Did he go to the Jets?
Or maybe the Jets. I can't remember now.
I don't know.
Bradford started 15 games for them.
Fuck.
So that means there's 1 game outstanding.
They had to pay him a chunk of that giant money he made?
Oh,
fuck.
That's Sean Hill started the other game. That was the year Bridgewater got hurt in preseason. Remember that?
Okay, yeah.
Yep, so that's how that happened there. They also got Javon, that's Jaron Curse, not Javon Curse. I was like, they got Javon Curse? No, they did not, as a matter of fact, there. He is fined for roughing the passer this year. He's fined $18,231 for knocking the shit out of Marcus Mariota. Which,
oh, really?
Yeah, it doesn't take much to do that, though.
I mean,
lots of guys have done that. Yeah.
That poor bastard.
Lots of guys did that. His
career was over fast, wasn't it? Jesus.
Yeah, that was a quick one, too, Mariota. Blink. He was like a number 2 overall draft pick, but he's like a runner and just wasn't.
It was such a big deal they were getting him in the league and just nothing. Big old nothing burger.
Quarterbacks are 2 out of 10 for those big guys like that are going to be stars. Yeah. Griffin's a Pro Bowler again this year. Starts all 16 games, has 8 sacks, 3 fumble recoveries, 1 return for a 20-yard touchdown.
Okay.
So not too bad. 2 forced fumbles. He's good. Yeah. So good, they decide to give him a 4-year contract extension this year for $58 million.
This motherfucker has amassed
$100 million. Not so fast, because that's not all guaranteed, as we know.
No?
No, as we'll find out here. 2017 Vikings are 13-3.
Hell yeah.
Fuck all your mothers. That's right. Mike Zimmer's coming to your mom's house. Mike Zimmer's coming to fuck your mom's face. That's who's coming.
What quarterback did this?
In the face, Mike Zimmer. This is, let's see, quarterback. Sam Bradford started 2 games. Teddy Bridgewater started 0 games, but he's on the team and at least on the roster that year.
But they've got,
Who is
I know.
it?
Is it
Case Keenum.
Is that right?
It is Case Keenum starting 14 goddamn games.
But they've
for
got
them that
Adrian
year.
Peterson still, and he's doing great, right?
I believe so, or did they get rid of him by then?
Or they got Burleson. They're doing terrific with
They're doing
actual
fine.
weapons. Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing well. I mean, yeah, to have a 13-3 record, you have to have a pretty damn good team. This year they beat the Saints 29-24 in the first round of the playoffs. Go to the conference championship game to get absolutely smoked by the Eagles, 38-7, as they often do. The Vikings are the NFC championship game whipping boys.
Yeah. They love being just embarrassed on national TV in the championship game.
The team that the Giants team that lost to the Ravens back in the day, 2001 or whatever, got shit hammered by the Ravens with Kerry Collins at quarterback. The Giants had beat them, I want to say 41-0 in the NFC Championship game. 41-0. Smoked them. It was the craziest game.
The Falcons team that Denver beat in the Super Bowl beat them in the championship game. They probably shouldn't have, but they did.
They did. That's after they squeaked by Tampa, I want to say, in one of those 15-13 games, or 12-10 or some weird. Remember those weird defensive Tampa games back then?
I hate those.
Thanksgiving Day, November 23rd, 2017, a third son is born.
Is that right?
Are you going to name one after yourself or not, motherfucker?
Come on.
Let's do this. The Vikings were playing in Detroit, again, a Thanksgiving Day game they're playing. Detroit, Tiffany went into labor 4 weeks early.
Wow.
So she FaceTimed Everson during the pregame so he could watch the birth live and then go play.
Holy shit. What a day.
Yo, hold on. My wife's giving birth right now. Wait 1 second. Hold on. No.
Hold on. I'm staring at my wife's enormous vagina right now.
Baby, breathe. All right. Yo, you're going to want to breathe more. And
that ain't never going back, baby.
Y'all are going to tighten that up, right? You're going to fix that shit when it's over?
4 extra stitches, right?
Right?
Throw up.
Oh, man. So, so he did that. After sacking Matthew Stafford, he lifted his jersey to display a handwritten message on his undershirt that said, "I just had a baby boy. What should we name him?" Which is pretty funny. I'm sure he got fined for that, too.
Probably, yeah.
While he and Tiffany enjoyed reading the creative array of responses, they chose Sebastian, which was the name they picked anyway.
Oh, okay. Trying to act like somebody else helped him with that.
No, they said we ended up going with our own thing, but it was a neat way to get attention anyway. So November 30th, 2017, he reveals the name Sebastian and says also that he'll make his kids wait to play football.
Okay.
Yeah. He apparently said that he said yes, he's very happy with the name and he's very happy with that. He said the two didn't have a name picked out prior to birth. That's why he did the thing with the jersey. Yeah. He said, I got lots of suggestions. Thunderbolt, a lot of creative names.
Thundercat.
Thundercat, Thunderbolt. Mike Zimmer was one of the ones they suggested.
Name him Mike Zimmer.
Name him Mike Zimmer. Griffin. He said, I forget how many names I went through. He said he didn't get any suggestions. He seriously considered what was happy to announce that. He said that Griffins, they called him a little sea bass. So, Sebastian there. Right. So, he said, we're not done. We love them kids. I plan on having 4 or 5. We're going to have a big family.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
He said that he'll support his kids' desire to follow in their dad's footsteps as a football player, but he won't be introduced them to the game till they're older. Mm-hmm. He said, I will allow them to play, but they won't play until their freshman year in high school, I guess like him. Okay, yeah. He said, I'm going to hold them back and let them play baseball, soccer, and basketball. I didn't start playing tackle until freshman year in high school. The brain's a sensitive area. I want less contact as possible.
How about this?
Which, the way he said that means he's had a lot of contact.
It was a lot of contact.
A lot of contact. But that makes sense. But unless they're an athletic freak like you, they're going to need to have a better grip of the game by then.
But it's good that he's aware of it. He's making sense.
Yeah, a lot of guys, actually, a lot of the positions, Quarterback, you need to play it since you're 5 because there's just so much to learn. You can't just come into it when you're 16 and start learning that. It's not going to work.
Reading a defense is not easy.
It's so much shit. Middle linebackers kind of like that too because you have to know everything. Center is a little bit like that. Every other position, you can pretty much go run that way and teach a guy to fucking play it. It's
Block
not that difficult.
Yeah.
Block, run this route. He did get a $6,076 fine from the NFL for writing that shit on his shirt. Yeah. Stupid. Later on, he got it. He said, I haven't gotten a fine, so hopefully I won't see one. This was that day. I'm supporting my baby. It's not like I had something negative to say. If they give me one, oh well, I'll take that fine. I was just happy. My baby was born. I was disappointed I wasn't able to see it, but I saw it over FaceTime. We're happy. The baby's healthy. My wife is healthy. We're happy. So
I want so many more of these its.
So many its. I'm going to have a bunch of its. Now that December 28, 2017, big old fluff piece on him.
Really?
Big old fluff piece. He said it takes a man a long time to grow up.
Sure.
Oh, he's saying, but now he's a mature, different kind of guy. He's a guy that you can trust and everything like that. He's just
a dad, for Christ's sake.
He's a dad. He's a workout kind of guy.
He's a fucking coach, James.
He's a soccer coach of toddlers. He said, I go into a game expecting a sack. I know I can beat this guy at least one time to get to the quarterback.
Wow.
So not too shabby. He's doing really well. He says, I bet people look at me now like Everson's got 3 kids and married. Who's that woman over here that changed him? My family is what I'm most proud of. I couldn't do it without them.
That's a fascinating way of telling your wife that she dodged herpes.
She died. Well, you don't know if she dodged it or not, but
or other
$100 million in contract. Maybe.
Who's the woman that kept him from fucking everything like he used to?
How the fuck did you do that? Tiffany said he's definitely become more dedicated. Now he knows what it takes to be great. He knows he can do it, so he made the decision and he goes all in. This year is the most consistent he's ever been. I think figuring out his mental game and knowing who he is as a person played a big role. It's all clicking now.
Yeah.
During the summer, the family stays in Minnesota and takes their 26-foot deck boat out on Lake Minnetonka.
Wow.
Griffen loves tubing and wrestling with his boys and hanging out at home. He says that he'll often take her to the Mall of America, where he'll stand in the rotunda yelling Tiffany as loud as possible while dancing around. Okay, doesn't mind attention. Yeah, doesn't mind the attention. He said that he has 61 sacks for his career at this point in the season. He says, I know I can get to 100. That's my goal. He says, Jared Allen said, I think the biggest difference this year is he moves very fluidly. There's not a lot of wasted movement. He has great get-off, and he's as fast as can be. He's a powerful and has a great instinct to find the ball.
Yeah. What are the chances he backs that boat to the water by himself?
Yeah, I think so. Come on.
Somebody else do this for me.
Please, I'm not fucking backing that fucking boat into anywhere.
It's very hard, man.
That's a big goddamn boat. So, yeah, one of the coaches said, we're just now starting to see the best of him. He's going to continue to get better and better because he's figuring this game out. And most importantly, he's figuring life out.
Yeah.
It's a big-time fluff piece. They said it's starting to see this amazing talent that this guy is. He said he's a standout defensive end, relentless worker, team leader, devoted father and husband. Just amazing.
Great guy, yeah.
Great guy. Everything's going great. This year, another Pro Bowl appearance, 15 games, 13 sacks. Doing goddamn good.
4-time Pro Bowler or 3-time?
That is 3 times so far.
Wow.
As soon as he started starting, his first season starting, he wasn't a Pro Bowler. Then he's been a Pro Bowler every year. So not good. And he was a second-team All-Pro that year as well. So very good. 2018.
Sure.
Vikings are 8-7-1.
Yeah.
Mike Zimmer again. Got to give him a chance here. Who's quarterbacking this team? Kirk Cousins all 16 games. Every year they have a different quarterback. They wonder why they're not consistent.
Well, they hang on to Kirk for years now.
For years, finally. after that.
And but he's a good quarterback.
No wonder why they hung on to him like grim death, because they went through, think about that. Ponder and Bridgewater and Bradford.
Dear Christ,
and
if we get another Ponder in here.
For fuck's sake, Brett Favre it started with. It's been like 7 years of shit.
It's going to be mass suicide in Minneapolis.
Oh, my God. September 25th, 2018. This is after all that fluff and everything and what a great, mature person he is. He has a huge breakdown mentally.
Really?
Yeah, he's undergoing mental health evaluation in a hospital.
Oh.
As details emerged where he was, this isn't of his own volition, by the way.
No?
This has to be in this hospital.
He's committed.
He is in here. According to a police report, his wife, Tiffany, said he left home on September 16th after he awoke suddenly in the middle of the night, which is something he does at times when, quote, fighting demons in his head.
Oh, no.
Oh, we don't like this. Last time we heard about demons, they were in the air conditioner, and it was like a Biabuchi, and I was terrified. So I don't like that. His wife said he returned briefly on Wednesday for an hour before leaving again until Saturday.
Days.
He started this on a Monday. And he just stopped. This is nuts. She said he wasn't making sense and ordered her to leave the couple's home before he went to the Hotel Ivy in downtown Minneapolis, where he stays sometimes during the week for some reason.
Is that right?
So this gets worse. It was at the Hotel Ivy that he threatened to shoot staff members who called police on him. He wasn't arrested and left on his own, and those who reported the incident said they didn't see a gun. He didn't threaten, he didn't point it at people, but he said he would shoot people, and then when the cops got there, he didn't have a gun or anything, so they just let him go. Because he's on the Vikings. So, and he stays there all the time, too. They were like, I don't know, he's having an issue. So his wife notified police, because he was just gone. She notified police that he needs medication for his mental struggles and probably hasn't slept in days.
What is going on?
He's bipolar, we find out.
Oh.
So he's on some kind of weird, crazy manic episode.
Yeah.
Where he goes out for days, doesn't take his medication. So an officer called Everson on his cell phone, and Everson said he was going to be gone for about a week, but the guy said he was not speaking coherently on the phone. He was saying crazy shit that he couldn't understand. So Tiffany again contacted the police to inform them that Everson said he was at Vikings teammate Trey Wayne's house. Going to Trey Wayne's house, not to hang out. Trey's not having a barbecue or anything.
No.
Trey isn't even home. He's there trying to break into the house.
I'm going to sleep on Trey's couch whether he likes it or not.
This is fucking nuts, dude.
Yeah.
So he called his wife to tell her that. And police said, she called the cops to say, if you look, my husband is here. He's trying to break into his teammate's house. He's fucked up in the head. He's mentally having a problem. You got to go help him. So he later returned home. The cops didn't catch up to him. He returned home with no shirt on.
Oh, boy.
And was driven by a man in a truck who had seen him at a gas station, recognized him, and gave him a ride.
Where's his car?
Where's his shirt? Fuck a car. He doesn't even have clothes on.
When is this? Is this in winter months in Minneapolis?
No, September.
Okay.
Early September. So it's
still
nice
chilly
out.
enough, right?
No, we were just there. It was beautiful, remember?
You should still have a shirt on, right?
I was shirt weather, yeah.
It's definitely shirt
It's
weather.
always T-shirt weather, first of all. It's never not T-shirt weather, everybody.
Yeah.
We can always pop a T-shirt on. I'll accept a tank top out of you. You're a big muscly guy, so maybe you want to show that off.
Put your nipples and belly button away, would you?
I don't want to see your nipples, essentially, is what it is. So he gets home. His wife told the cops he's home now because they were looking for him because he's leaving a trail of destruction all over the place. They said that the cops said he was making comments about angels.
Yep.
And they said, well, why did you go to Trey Wayne's house? And he said, God made me do it.
Bunch of question marks in his fucking path, dude. This is crazy.
Wow. So he agreed to be taken for a mental health treatment, but the report said that on the way, they put him in an ambulance to go. At a light or something, he fucking jumped out of the ambulance and took off.
Yeah.
But then later they caught up to him wandering around in the street, and he agreed to continue the trip with a police escort. He said, I'll go, but you can follow me. So Griffin's wife told the cops that he'd been growing increasingly paranoid, which isn't great, I guess, increasingly paranoid, and feared someone was going to kill him in the days and weeks leading up to this. He's been getting worse and worse, she said.
Wow.
This is fucking crazy. So at the hotel, there was a weird fucking thing. They said it was in the middle of the day on a Saturday. He's threatening to shoot the staff members, which is a lot, man. They said, an emergency dispatcher relayed to officers that a man had issued threats unless the hotel staff allowed him in his room. I guess he threatened to assault staff members before leaving the hotel. The officers didn't make any arrests after they didn't find the gun, like we said. Tom Pelissero of the NFL Network reported 2 sources with the Vikings strongly deny the report that he was arrested. He wasn't arrested. He was taken for a mental health evaluation. It's a different thing here. The Vikings general manager, Rick Spielman, offered a statement on the allegations. Said, quote, "We're aware of the situation involving Everson Griffen and certainly concerned by what we've heard. We're currently focused on Everson's well-being and providing the appropriate support for him and his family." That's probably good. Mm-hmm. Head coach Mike Zimmer said he's having a personal matter, and I'm going to leave it at that. And that's why you name your kid after him.
Yeah.
Because he gives you tight quotes like that. So a couple days later, they're talking about he is battling serious mental health-related issues and is undergoing an evaluation. They said that this Pelissero said, "I had 2 team sources reach out to me to specifically refute a report that Griffen was arrested over the weekend in connection to an attempted break-in at one of his teammates' houses." Holy shit, this is a fucking mess, man. This is bad. The team said, "We are aware of the situation and concerned with what we've heard." They said, "The only thing that we're concerned about is that for Everson isn't anything to do with football. It's about getting him better. In the 5 years that I've been here, I've always loved Everson," this is Zimmer, "the effort that he puts out, the work that he does, the chance to count him in game time, even in practice. He's always been a really, really good model for us, and obviously he's going through some tough times now."
Yeah.
So he's going to be on leave now. Just on leave in an undisclosed location, they said.
Okay.
So they said, "Will he be back this year?" And all they said was, "It's a personal matter. We don't know."
Who knows?
So who the hell? Yeah, they don't know. They said there's, who knows? But he is banned from practice, though. That is one thing. He's not allowed to come.
Yeah.
No, probably not. They said we're gonna help him out and help out his family and all that, but he certainly can't come to practice and fuck all this shit up here. So I guess apparently the hotel situation happened at 1:30 in the afternoon here, and he was threatening to assault employees and lying on the lobby floor, which is weird. Emergency audio dispatch revealed as the events unfolded that he said that if someone isn't going to let him in his room, he's going to shoot someone, but no gun was seen. 1:30. This sounds like me on the road, is what this sounds like. I never tried this.
I've said some crazy shit, too.
If I don't get in my room right now, I never tried lying down on the floor in the lobby. Maybe that'll work. I'm going to try that next time.
I did do that
for 3 fucking hours.
I did do that in D.C. when evidently there's a battery in the lock on those doors.
Oh, yeah.
And that hotel, the fucking battery died, and we were leaving it. I had to leave at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
And so when I went to open the door, it wouldn't open. I went down to the front desk, and he goes, "Yeah, the guys are gone. Maintenance is gone. They'll be back at 6. I was like, "Well, I'm leaving at 4, so somebody better get that door
my shit out of
open."
here.
He's like, "Well, I'll call somebody." I'm like, "Well, then I'm going to sit right here."
Yeah.
I sat in the lobby and stared right at that.
Where else are you going to go?
Face. Yeah, I can't get in my room, man. What do you want from me?
Same thing with me. I'll show up and then your room's not ready and I got to sit there for 3 hours. Well, you're going to see me the whole time.
I'm going to stare right in your dumb fucking face.
I am going to fucking sit here. I'm going to be like a gargoyle in your fucking lobby.
Next time I'm laying down. Fuck it. I'm not going anywhere.
I never thought about that. Next time I'm going to try that.
I'm not going to say I'm going to shoot anybody, but I can understand why you would say something. My mom said shit like that. You know what I mean? I've heard people say wild shit under the circumstances, in the heat of the moment. Somebody's going to fucking die if I don't get my food. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. He was too specific, though, and said, "I will shoot you," which I think is...
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's a little too specific, I think.
There will be bodies if I don't get in my room tonight.
Well, when you start mentioning the specific conveyance of how you're going to get there from A to B, I feel like that's where it turns serious.
I'm going to put bullets through your face.
Yeah, that's
all right, yeah.
where it certainly is serious. So apparently, I guess Griffin's wife had called about the Trey Wayne's house thing. She called his home. I guess they live down the road, this Trey Wayne's guy, and Griffen was trying to break in, had jumped through the bushes and was shirtless. So that's when his wife was calling the cops and all this type of shit. But they said that his wife said that he showed up in a pickup truck with someone who didn't know what to do with him. He just brought him home. It's like, I guess.
I don't know. I looked at his
found him at a gas station
to bring him here.
Yeah, I scanned him. He had a chip, and they said to bring it here.
If lost, please return to.
So they met him outside, and Griffen was making comments about 777 having to do with angels, and that God made him go to his friend's house there, and all that kind of shit. So that is a lot, man. That's just a lot. Wow, that's so much. So he is just having a shit of a mess here.
Yeah.
He said he's focused once he's all kind of, I guess, drugged up or whatever. He says he's focused on resolving personal issues.
Yeah.
And, he's got to complete mental health evaluations and all this type of shit. And they said that he said that the situation became unmanageable the past week.
Yeah.
For him and for everybody, I guess, here. So 2019, he reduces his base salary.
Okay.
He takes a pay cut.
Yeah.
Essentially.
If we can't count on you, then we got to take money from you.
Yeah, he was supposed to get $10.9 million, and instead he's getting $6.4 million. And also some bonuses as well. This is to clear cap space. That's how this works. Yeah. 2019, the Vikings are 10-6. They beat the Saints in the wild card division again, and then lose to the 49ers in the divisional round.
Well, I got news for you about that. Don't worry.
They're not going to win it ever. Kirk Cousins again starting 15 games here, so they have a whole different thing going on. This year he is, so he does just fine. Pro Bowl year again.
Yeah.
The year before, the mental health issue year, he played in 10 games and didn't make the Pro Bowl, had 5.5 sacks. This year, he has 8 sacks but makes the Pro Bowl.
Great.
So does pretty well there. Not too bad. Now, he declines a 3-year option with Minnesota after that. I don't know if he declined or they declined, but either way.
Mutual, who knows?
Clears a lot of cap space for Minnesota. April 10th, 2020. He is talking about how 2018 actually changed his life and probably saved it.
It should, yeah.
He said that he wasn't, when he went to rehab, or not to rehab, to treatment, sorry.
Yeah,
I'm used to, this is crime and sports. I'm used to rehab. I'm not used to
mental rehab.
Hospital here.
It's the same thing.
He wasn't allowed to bring a cell phone with him, but he was allowed to bring a pass rushing dummy with him.
Really?
So he could work on that, apparently, yeah. There was a small area in the back of the facility where he would fucking do this at. And he said between classes and art sessions and evaluations, he would go to the gym and do this. That's all he would do. So, he said, so the problem is, too, there's also apparently some substances mixed in with this as well. We'll let him explain it in their own words here.
I hope
what do you say here?
Yeah.
I think he will here. In their own words, quote, "Nobody knew that I was living in a sober house. I lived in the sober house for 3 months from October to the end of the season. I was living like I was in college, had a roommate, had a little bit of clothes. I was going to my meetings. I did the whole 9. That was part of my recovery, just to reset. I wanted to reset."
Drugs did this?
Apparently so. He goes on to say, "And I'm happy that 2018 happened because I wouldn't be sitting here today being able to tell my story and showing teams that I'm strong, I'm healthy. There's nothing really that you have to worry about because I'm doing all the right things. There's nothing I'm doing behind the scenes that they should be worried about. I'm doing everything possible to make sure that 2018 doesn't happen again, and it will not happen."
Yeah.
Said it's just taken a lot of patience and self-reflection. He said, it's like, why haven't more teams been interested? And the reason why is because they don't know Everson. This is him saying this about him, by the way. So what they know is shit from, apparently, it wasn't just everything was fine on the field and then he was a little wacky outside the field. 2018, there was verbal outbursts in practice and stuff like that. That made the Vikings order him to undergo a mental health evaluation.
Sure.
As well, and he didn't do it. So, he's been acting a little crazy all over.
What substances he's doing?
No, I don't know if it's pills here or what's going on, but he definitely has bipolar disorder. Oh, no, he does not have bipolar disorder. I'm sorry.
He doesn't?
This has got to be pills here. So they went through an extensive evaluation with the best doctors available, and this is according to his agent now. They ruled out serious mental health issues such as bipolar disorder.
Yeah.
So he admitted using cannabis that week. Weed is not making you do that.
That didn't do that, no.
I'm never shirtless at my neighbor's house, ever.
I've been panic high before. You go into your room and you disappear.
Yeah.
You don't want anybody to see you that way because it's fucking embarrassing.
It's not how you want to be seen, cowering.
I'm a
as
man
a grown
that
man
can't
in your own
handle
house.
drugs. I need to go sleep.
Oh, God. But his agent said chemical dependency is not diagnosed either, just hair turning silver.
Yeah.
He said he's in pursuit of his health and he's abstaining from any kinds of drugs, and he's doing great. And Griffen said that was part of the program to stay in the sober house to make sure he could get back on track the proper way. After 5 weeks of evaluation, the doctors concluded his erratic behavior resulted from significant unresolved emotional distress, emotional incongruence, and lack of healthy coping skills. No. No.
What?
Nope. No.
You gotta elaborate when you say.
Not
shit
buying
like
that.
No.
There's an underlying issue of some kind of mental illness or drugs or something. You're not just under some pressure and having emotional distress and unresolved. We all have unresolved emotional distress.
I realize the Minnesota Vikings season doesn't rest on my shoulders of my line rushing, but I have a lot of fucking stress and
still got to get through the day.
I still got to wake up and do my job.
Yeah. So they said, wow,
I got a lot of problems, I assure you.
They said, quote, in short, his unprocessed emotions from a lifetime of really unfortunate and painful experiences.
What?
Including his mother's death in October 2012, finally boiled over the top. As a result, Everson coped by relationally detaching and acting out in ways that were uncharacteristic of his NFL career. Yeah. While that experience cost him 5 weeks of the season, it's also changed his life in very positive ways. He called it a big eye-opener that things need to be resolved in his life. Okay, interesting. So they said that the details he has discussed only with a team of medical professionals, therapists, clinical psychologists, a life coach, who he says he speaks with on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, he says he needs to reprioritize his life around his wife and 3 sons. And, he said, because otherwise shit's all fucked up. He said it was all a big spectacle. Yeah. He said it was televised, videos, everybody counted me out.
What?
Yeah, so he had some fucking problems. He said all these red flags and all these things that people questioned about inconsistent play and leadership ability and character. So now he's set his daily goals now and everything, including reading books.
Yeah.
You know what he's reading at this moment? Healing the Child Within.
I'm going to jot that one down.
And expanding it. Right there. Get my pen moving.
I haven't read a book in a while. Maybe I'll pick that one up.
He says that he's discussed with his medical team all the variables that would come along with moving to a new city, and they'd be with him every step of the way.
Yeah.
So he's ready to fucking go. He said, I'm going to do anything possible in my body and make sure I'm putting myself and the team in a position to win.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to make sure I take care of myself, too, because that's the most important part, taking care of myself. That's the new Everson.
Okay.
I'm finally taking care of myself, not just in a physical way, in a mental way, in a healthy way, and really taking ownership in it and growing from that and being able to identify my flaws and failures. I feel the best I've ever had. I feel very capable of going into a new environment and learning the ropes. It's just been fun to be in the league for 10 years. It's been a blessing. 4 Pro Bowls, 1 second-team All-Pro. There's been some obstacles, but through the obstacles, I fought back each and every time and have proven that I'm the guy you can count on, except for last year.
Right, except for that one time.
So August 16, 2020, signs with Dallas, 1-year contract with the Dallas Cowboys. And he said he grew up as a Cowboys fan and was named after Everson Walls, by the way.
Is that right?
The Cowboy defensive end.
Yeah.
And he won a Super Bowl with the Giants in 1991 as well. Everson Walls. Yeah, number 28. He's a fucking good defensive back. Interesting. Named after Everson Walls, which before the Cardinals were in Phoenix, and even afterwards, the Cowboy games were the game that everybody watched at. Right. Everybody there was a Cowboy fan.
So many Cowboys fans here.
And they all turned into Cardinal fans who hate the Cowboys when the Cardinals are good.
Yeah. As soon as the Cardinals start stinking, those Cowboys jerseys start popping up.
Yeah, here comes my Troy Aikman jersey out of the closet. Wipe the fucking mold off of it. There it is.
Big Deion Sanders fan.
No shit. So he's going to end up with 2 teams this year. He's going to end up with the Cowboys for a while. Then he's going to end up with the Lions. So 2 teams here this year. He's traded in October for a 6th-round draft pick.
Oh.
So, yeah, he goes to the Lions, who are 5-11 that year.
Yeah, they stink.
2 different coaches and not doing well. Who's their quarterback, goddammit?
That's going to be Matt Stafford.
I think I'm saying, was he hurt or something this year? I don't even know. Chase Daniel played.
No, they just suck.
They just sucked, yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're right. Yeah, because it's got to be Stafford. It's got to be.
Wait, what year?
Started
19?
2020.
Yes, it's definitely Stafford. No.
Yeah, played all 16 games
Stafford.
he started. All 16 games. Yep, absolutely.
Next year he went to the Rams.
Yep. So 2021, back to the Vikings. Signs a 1-year, $1.075 million contract with the Vikings. So not much in terms of money for what he's used to anyway. 2021, they're 8-9. Still Mike Zimmer hanging in there. Can't get rid of can't shake that Mike Zimmer boy. He will come with you wherever you're going.
He's going to go be an O-line coach somewhere soon, though.
Somewhere he's going to be gone. Kirk Cousins still quarterback and all that kind of shit still going on here. He was part of the initial roster cuts on August 31st, but then re-signed 3 days later.
Yeah.
So he is, I guess, September 17th, 2021. He's in a car accident after swerving to miss a deer.
Okay.
Which is what people say when they're in one-car accidents that they don't want anyone to know what happened.
Sure, yeah.
You can always blame a deer.
That's a big deer. I missed him. He took off.
Fuck that.
Saved his life. Yeah.
Where is he? Fuck if I know. Woods. I don't know. That way.
Like Ranger Rick? I have no fucking idea.
Fuck am I? Who do I look like over here? Jesus. So he landed on the injury report because he got a concussion.
Yeah.
And is ruled out for the next game coming up. He missed practice and everything else. There's the concussion protocol. Even if you don't get a concussion on the field, still a concussion.
Yeah.
So the Minnesota Public Safety Department said that Griffen told officers at the scene he lost control of the car when he swerved to miss a deer in the road. The car then left the road and crashed into a tree.
Golly.
Jesus Christ. Okay, November 24th, 2021. Little problem. I'll read this article. A situation at the home of Minnesota Vikings defensive end Everson Griffen has ended peacefully after an apparent mental health incident led to a response by a local police and team staff. Mike Zimmer showing up.
Oh, boy.
I guess the situation had been ongoing since early Wednesday morning before police announced in the afternoon it had been resolved. That says standoff to me. Griffen,
Hold
33,
up in his house.
Ooh, not good. Posted a disturbing video on his Instagram early Wednesday morning showing him holding a gun. The video was then deleted, but followed up by screenshots of text messages to his agents asking for help and telling him to call 911, saying someone was trying to kill him. That post was also deleted.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit. So he's sending out crazy texts, posting them, oh shit, I'll delete that. The Minnesota Department of Public Safety said officers and other law enforcement agencies responded to his house at around 3 a.m. after he called 911.
Oh, shit.
Saying someone was inside of his home.
Uh-oh.
He reportedly told the dispatcher he fired a weapon, but nobody was injured. He's bucking shots off. There's 3 kids in this house. Holy shit.
Indoors.
Cops got there. No intruder was located because it doesn't exist.
In his head, yep.
It's in his fucking head. So he's got some mental health issue.
There's
it's crazy.
Happening. Yeah.
They took him to a facility, did all these tests, and said, nope, he's got nothing wrong with him. Unless you're on like a 4-day Coke binge or something, or you're mentally ill. That's the only things that cause this. That's
generally, yeah. I mean, yeah. You
what else could cause this kind of crazy?
You're either mentally ill or you're on something. And I imagine the hospital took a urine sample to UA and try and figure out what's happening.
What's going on?
If there's nothing in that, though, then you've got to deem it the chemical is naturally occurring in the brain.
He's just got demon juice in there. That's what happens sometimes.
Oh, good.
The demon juice gets loose, and that's that.
Fuck.
So they said law enforcement said that a Vikings team psychologist had been in communication with him since 7 a.m., but he refused to come out of his home.
Uh-oh.
Shortly before 3:30 p.m.,
12 hours.
It's a long time.
Golly.
The Vikings said law enforcement agencies have notified us that Everson Griffen came out of his home without incident and is now getting the care he needs. Our focus remains on Everson's health and safety and providing the proper resources for him and his family as they scramble the waiver wire for another defensive end. Yeah. That's their focus. The team thanked agencies for ensuring the situation ended peacefully. And Coach Mike Zimmer said he was made aware of the situation early in the morning, and he talked to the team but couldn't comment any further. And Zimmer said, it's not really our concern right now about football or the game this weekend. It's really about him. We're only concerned about his well-being. He's been with us a long time. Good guy, works hard.
Sure does.
Is there a happy medium between what it used to be of, well, I don't know, they're going to sew his leg back on, but we're signing another guy and we don't give a shit about him, to this pretend that they're family horse shit?
I don't know.
I'm not buying this bullshit.
It's got to be one extreme or the other, doesn't it?
No.
To show inclusivity and that we're all in this together.
But it's not. This is just it's just lying.
Yeah, I mean,
you're the head coach of a football team. You're worried about who's lining up at defensive end this weekend because if someone doesn't line up there, you have a couple of bad games, you're going to get fired.
Yeah, but the NFL now has to be lovey-dovey. It has to be because otherwise they're going to be sued into oblivion for demolishing people and acting like they don't know what they're doing.
I think this is just for not doing anything real about concussions.
For so many years. Yeah,
I mean, still,
100%.
They're still not doing shit.
No,
they let that motherfucker Dolphin quarterback play.
There's no reason that kid should be on the
They let him come back and play. They don't give a fuck about these players or their concussions.
Not only do they let him come back and play, they don't even tell him you're going to wear the pillow. They don't even tell him that.
This fucking league is the most dishonest pile of scumbag billionaire cocksuckers that's ever existed. They can all go fuck themselves.
You gotta. If you're gonna care, you've got to force care. And unfortunately, some of these guys think that forced care is coddling and we're men and that whole. There's that too. What? You got this fucking masculinity that's just so fucking stupid. You got to be a tough guy. It's like, come on, man.
Meanwhile, it's the most latently homosexual atmosphere that's ever existed.
You're coming down each other's throats.
Outside of a ship that's been at sea for 6 months. This is crazy.
Every week they tell you you're coming down each other's throats. Just put the fucking pillow helmet on.
Put it on. Doesn't matter. You got jizz on your chin anyway. Just fucking do it.
Who gives a shit?
So they should have one designated carer per team, I think.
Yeah,
one person who's like, they really care. And they come out and they go, no, Everson, I really care about him. And it's really sad. Yeah. And then the coach goes, we signed this guy off the waiver wire. We're going to play the 4-3 this week. I don't know. Talk to me after the season. I'm real busy. I work 20 hours a day. Do you understand that? I don't have time to care about this guy.
I work 20 hours a day, and if he doesn't perform, I lose my job.
Yeah. I don't have time for this shit. Talk to Charlene, our designated carer, and then she comes in and goes, oh, it's so sad, and that's how it works.
I don't give a fuck if he's got a concussion. If I don't work here, they're going to ship me off to fucking coach somebody in Tampa, and I don't want to be in Tampa.
I don't want to coach the Bengals defensive linemen. Do you understand that? I don't. I just don't. I don't want to do it.
Their defense sucks shit through a dick straw. I don't want to be there.
I don't want to be the Bills tight end coach. Please don't make me do it. Can't have it.
Yeah.
So another Dalvin Cook player said, we're just trying to make sure he's okay. Yeah. That's our brother first. Make sure his family's okay. Make sure he gets proper treatment and the love he needs to get through the times he's going through right now.
Right.
The Vikings place him on the reserve non-football illness list, which is didn't get hurt on the field, physically fine, but not mentally here. So they all say, and every quote from every member of the Vikings is, this is our family. Our family's our family. That's why your mental health is always important. Check on your loved ones, all that stuff, which is all good stuff. But again, coming from football, it's just very, very shallow.
Yeah,
it's very empty, man.
Yeah.
So December 1st or December 4th, 2021, now he says, I will be an advocate for mental health, and reveals that he has bipolar disorder, which is, he was trying to, his agent probably was trying to hide it because Alonzo Spellman, Brandon Marshall, both of their careers never really recovered from that.
Belcher probably had something happening, right? He had to.
Either that or he had brain issues too. He might have been
deep demons. It could be anything.
Yeah, and that's the other thing when you add in getting hit in the head all the time into this mess,
and being up front like that, dude. The collisions that he is making.
Oh yeah,
are
speed.
Crazy.
A lot of times, the offensive lineman's first move is to try to headbutt you too. So that's another part of it. So they placed him on reserve, and now he said that he'll be an advocate. He said, "I've been running from it a long time. I'm not ashamed of it anymore. It all started when my mother passed away. It went into a dark place. Thought I was great for many years. I promise this time I will do everything the experts say. I love my family and miss my friends. Thank you for all the love and support, but most of all, thank you for your prayers." So, yeah, he's been having issues, so he's going to do this now. Well, it's nice that he's finally – you can't hide an issue like that and try to I can understand why you'd want to, but either way, he's done with football after 2021, plays in 6 games, has 5 sacks. So his whole career, he never made it to the 100-sack mark. 85.5 sacks for him in 170 games. Yeah. Definitely nothing to sneeze at.
Great career. You made $100 million, man. Well,
85 sacks in 170 games, too. That averages, sack every other game.
Yeah.
It's pretty goddamn good. Yeah. Not bad at all. Total career earnings that he actually made, $63,027,231.
God damn.
Not too shabby here.
Golly.
July 23rd, 2023, he is arrested.
Uh-oh.
On suspicion of impaired driving in Chanhassen. I think that's in Minnesota up there.
Probably.
It's booked into jail at 12:41 p.m. It's a little early for drunk driving, no? Holy shit.
Yeah, well, I mean, up there,
that means he got pulled over at 10:30, for Christ's sake.
You order a Bloody Mary, they give you an almost a half a beer to go with it every time.
That's Wisconsin. That's not Minnesota.
Minnesota does it too.
At 10 in the morning they do this, and then you drive?
These hardy motherfuckers, they drink so heavy, man.
Wow. Oh, I knew that, but I don't think you're supposed to fucking drive.
Yeah, you shouldn't be driving, no.
So that is not good here, I would say. He's having some problems here. He was arrested. That is the 23rd of January, or of July, 2023. October 28th, 2023, he's arrested again and charged with failure to drive with due care after crashing into a fence and a gazebo.
And no booze?
No, he just must be, because the deer last time, I think he's just a shitty driver. I don't think he's good at that.
He might just see things.
Maybe. That's the other thing. Either that, or rather than poring over NFL film, he should be poring over driving lessons and just like maps and footage of himself here. December 7th, 2023, he's stopped by police for going 55 and a 30, and he's convicted of that as well, and he takes a plea deal and all of this type of shit he has to take, because it's like all of these other charges he's had are all crammed into one, and we'll see if he can drive again. We'll see here. So he's having a lot of problems, and it's obvious. So
the drinking and driving, just driving in general. It's a father, man. He's got kids.
A plea deal, that's what I mean. What if they're in the car? They're not. But he does a plea deal to avoid his drunken driving charge. He strikes a deal that allows him to avoid the charge. So he's had quite a few. He's got to pay $1,090 in fines and plead guilty to misdemeanor careless driving.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. They dismissed the remaining drunk driving and speeding charges. And he said in court, "I operated my motor vehicle carelessly. Specifically, I drove at a high rate of speed while weaving in and out of traffic after consuming alcohol. I believe my driving conduct thus endangered myself and others." His blood alcohol level, by the way, was 0.09, which
very casual.
15 years ago isn't even a DUI.
No.
You know what I mean? They dropped it to 0.8 everywhere, but it used to be 0.08. It used to be 0.10
and that's
everywhere.
I mean, look, I'm no angel.
If you're a drinker, I'm just saying, if you're a drinker, 0.09 doesn't seem that much to you, probably, if you're a drinker.
3-4 beers, I've driven that way. And I'm not proud of it, but it's certainly
not good.
And I'm probably over. I probably was over that. I don't do it now, and it's far too serious now. I mean, it was
there's
just
Ubers
as serious
too,
then,
so
but that's the other part. Is that the necessity of it doesn't exist. There's no reason to drive now.
No. And
Zero.
back then, we were talking about times when you're 24 years old, when also you couldn't afford to
No.
get a ride home.
No,
That's the other
no,
thing.
no.
It was like, well, the only way
Cabs
I'm
were
getting home
great.
is with my car. It's the only way I can
Cabs were
afford to get home.
insane.
Yeah. I don't have $35 for a cab to go fucking 3 miles.
35.
So.
Dude, I drove from fucking Fountain Hills to Phoenix. It was $138.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's also like 40 miles,
it's a
too.
long ride.
It's a long fucking way.
It was
It's a long way.
crazy
mileage
amount of
wise.
money. I was like, how do you
takes
sleep
forever.
at night? I was like,
All the way down Shea? Christ,
Yeah.
I'd have charged you more than that. Fuck that. It's a long way.
much cheaper than a DUI still.
Still, absolutely. So he's doing all that stuff. May 30th, 2024. He's arrested again.
Oh, no.
On suspicion of DWI and cocaine. There we go.
Boy.
This has probably been a part of this, I would imagine. 'Cause I don't
And
think
if it
bipolar
hasn't,
people are supposed to drink and do coke.
Right.
Although,
if it hasn't, this is a severe escalation.
yeah, although if you would think of bipolar in terms of substances,
Yeah,
they would
that's
be
it. Yeah.
cocaine and booze. So I think maybe he's trying to balance himself out here. He's
Has he
arrested,
not-
though.
Yeah, has he not learned what happens to big people with their hearts when they, you know what I mean? Your
yeah,
mom dropped
it
dead
explodes.
from bad heart. You're just pouring it
man.
in the wound, man.
He's observed driving at a high rate of speed at Bentley Bentayga something. In a Bentley. And this is how much I know little shit about Bentleys. I didn't even know that was a Bentley model. I thought that was a person or a road. I thought it was Bentayga, Bentayga, Bentayga.
Bentayga, yeah.
Bentley Bentayga. I thought that was a road in Minnesota. I had no idea.
At Bentley and Bentayga.
Wow. Yeah, that's what I thought it was. Going southbound on I-35 West that's confusing. Going southbound on I-35 West at 50th Street in Minneapolis at 11:35 p.m. He was stopped and showed signs of impairment leading to his arrest. While the officer arrived at the car window, they noticed two individuals in the vehicle and the smell of alcohol. The driver is Everson Griffen. The officer said that he had slightly watery eyes. During a search of the vehicle, they found a vial having 0.02 grams of cocaine. But you got a little bit of coke to fucking do that night. That's all. Yeah. He's arrested, sent to jail. Charges of driving under the influence, 5th-degree drug possession. So little, it's 5th degree. Yeah. And careless driving. But it's the second time in a year he's been suspected, or he's been arrested on a DWI or DUI charge. Not great. He wrote for that, we heard what he wrote. He admitted to all that kind of thing, and now he's doing it again, which probably isn't great. He opens up on social media following this arrest. And, for the first time he says he's doing well and seeking help, is what he says. He posted on Twitter. And he said that everybody was wishing him well. He said he's doing well. He made a poor decision. He's seeking help, and he needs to learn from his mistakes. I want to know who the other person was. Was it a chick?
I would just hope it wasn't a kid.
I don't think it was. Because that would have been another charge.
Right, great point.
So I was wondering, I'm thinking if that's a chick that wasn't his wife, and he's like, I got more problems. You don't even know.
I don't want to deal with you. I got shit at home that's way
legal,
worse than
mental.
this.
She's yelling at me. I got all sorts of fucking problems here. He said that he's doing well, he made a poor decision, and that he made a very impulsive decision, and that in a similar situation, he would use Uber in the future.
Yeah, good.
Probably smart. Yeah. He said, if in life you try different outlets to hide from reality, I've been kind of a knucklehead. It all results from unhealed trauma. I will get back with my therapist, he said in a post.
Good.
So we don't know what his net worth is because they have his net worth at, they said he made $57 million. Well, who the fuck knows what he's got left or what he paid in taxes or whatever. Can't get enough of Everson Griffen. Here, you can get, he'll be back. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
You can also get the 2010 Playoff Contenders Playoff Everson Griffen rookie card for $4.99. It's a pretty cool looking card on eBay there. And you can also get the 2020 Mosaic Everson Griffen Scripps Prism Autographed Gold SP PSA 100. It's autographed by him. That comes on the card, already autographed out of the pack. $200 or best offer for that, though.
It's an actual autograph, though, on the card.
Yeah.
On the pack. That's cool.
Those are the ones they pull out of packs with. Those are a big deal there. And then the 2010 Playoff Prestige Extra Points Red 100 Everson Griffen rookie card as well. It shows him in his fucking in his, oh shit, it shows him in his USC outfit, USC uniform, with the eye tape under his eyes with 623 written on there.
Is that right?
Which is the area code for Avondale, which is fucking hilarious.
That old West Side fucking area code.
623, bitches. So
hilarious.
There you go, everybody. That is Everson Griffen, and a guy that somehow, through not only playing and being a goddamn Pro Bowler for half of the last decade, also constantly getting arrested and having standoffs with police and shirtlessly trying to break into people's houses. I had never fucking heard of this guy somehow.
News. Wow.
That is so fucked up and weird.
And we got fucking AB having
we
press
know all
conferences
about him.
in his driveway, and this
no
guy's
shit.
This is
pulling Terrell Owens.
Jesus,
he's having full-on standoffs. So if you like the show, tell the world about it. Get on whatever app you are listening on and give a nice review. Say anything you want, but give 5 stars and make it nice. It helps out a lot. Also, you can definitely follow on social media at Crime and Sports.
Right.
Head over to shutupandgivememurder.com. Tickets for live shows. Also, definitely merch there. Tons and tons of merch there. Get all your stuff there. Shutupandgivememurder.com. And also new tour dates coming out very soon in the next month. So you'll have those there and as well. And also you want to go to Patreon. This is what you should do. I advise you. We, as a team, we advise you. To go to Patreon, patreon.com/crimeinsports, the name of the show, and get your bonus material. Anybody $5 a month or above, it's a cup of coffee. Honestly, you can't get an extra value meal at McDonald's for that. For like half the price of a McDonald's 2 cheeseburger meal, you can get hundreds of back episodes of Crime and Sports and Small Town Murder bonus stuff you've never heard before because they're never been publicly released. They're all bonus stuff. Then you get new ones every other week. One Crime and Sports, one Small Town Murder. You get it all for $5.
What are we doing next week, James?
You want you want one cheeseburger and half a fry, or you want that? Give me a break here. Next week, what we're doing for Crime and Sports, we have Marge Schott. Who's the longtime was the longtime owner. She's got to be dead by now, that old bag.
She certainly
longtime owner of the Cincinnati Reds and one of the biggest just cunts in the history of sports.
Absolute asshole.
And I'm talking man, woman, child, anybody. Just a terrible, awful, repulsive person. Repulsive. If you think I'm being a dick, listen to the episode and you'll go, oh, yes, no, there's no other way to describe her.
Bad person.
Then for Small Town Murder, we're going to talk about remote viewing, which has nothing to do with like watching streaming services or anything like that. That has to do with people psychically being able to see another place and what is happening there in time. Like if they rubbed on a wall and a window showed what they were watching somewhere else, that's what they could do. It's a part of psychic shit, and it was started, all the research was started by the United States government for it, actually. Military project, CIA type shit. I can't remember if it was part of MK Ultra or not, but we'll get into it all during. I have a book on a guy who claims to be the best at it, or one of the better people at it, and claimed he saw people in a cave and then they sent a missile in and blew up terrorists and all this shit. We'll talk all about it and laugh at these people. Patreon.com/Crime and Sports is where you get all that. And you get a shout out at the end of the show. God damn it, we appreciate you. Speaking of being appreciated, Jimmie, why don't we show these sons of bitches how much we appreciate them? Hit me with the names of all the people who are so fine and never drive while on cocaine. Hit me with them right now.
This week's executive producer, Andy Fritsch, and his wife, they're celebrating their 30th anniversary. Happy anniversary. That's a lot of them. Holy
Congrats.
Shit.
Not bad.
Other executive producer this week, Indigo Clark. Thank you, Indigo. She is fantastic. She has a sister that listens also. She lives in Arizona somewheres. They're great gals. Thank you so much, Indigo. You're terrific. Other producers this week, Peyton Meadows, Gary Howard, Janice Hill, Georgia Liptak, Centeno Kennels in Canada, Carly Plimes, I think, Leslie Maxwell, who says it like that? Annie Riffino?
Maxwell.
Urfino. All right. Patricia Lawhorn. May Corwin. Kiara would know last name. Jen would know last name. Bree Rosen. Whiskey Chick. Katie Taylor. Patty would know last name. Babs Michelle. Rich Gillum. JBM 314. Timothy Knight. Linda Ann Nauf. Brian Potter, Jen with no last name, Kelsey Rowan, Amanda McPherson, Angela Gilbert, Dr. Stephanie Drescher. Yep, that is correct.
Well,
I want to get that name correct because she spent many years in school for that. Brent Lieb, Wendy
the doctor
Stanton.
part, not the Drescher part.
Yeah, that's true. Adam9750. That is part of an email address because they put Chinese letters in there that I'll never be able to pronounce.
Oh, well.
Wendy Stanton. I said that.
Beats
Jenny.
us.
Jenny Mullen, Kurt Fowler, Devin with no last name, Connor Robinson, Lacey with no last name, Grace Gerton,
Chinese
Jacob,
letters, not characters.
Why
letters.
would they do that? Are they letters?
Characters.
Whatever they are. Who gives
Yeah,
a shit?
that's what I love. Letters, Chinese letters. What is that, a Chinese H? I don't know what that is.
These are all English characters, right? Nicholas Tilley, that's a whole bunch of Jacob Heater. I said that. Morgan, yes. I don't think that's right. I think they just autocorrected.
Morgan, no.
I think it autocorrected her name. I'm sorry.
Morgan maybe.
Susan
Fine.
G, Katie Hayes, Michelle Henricks, Myro, Kelsey Natatovich, Laura O'Malley, Nicholas Dew, Jared Wilson, Morgan VB, Randy Rogue, Rochelle Trendley, I believe, Jamie G, Nathan Springer, Michelle Collison, Rowan 8436, Angela Peterson, Zach Reiselman, Madeline Gadare, Sonia Alexander, Lacey Parker, Gilbert Quintero, Jacob Sions, Olivia Alcorta, Storybook Farm, Colette Ormandy, Sarah Sari, Carly Miller, Kennedy Johnson, Travis Tetrolt, LC, Tiffany Organdy, Little Oregon, Big D. William.
Little Oregon, Big D. That was so not on purpose, and you did not even notice you said that, which is hilarious.
William Quimby, Andrea Nunley, Eric J. Reimers, Ghost, Akuma EX, Hope Luther, Misty Belcher, John Alstott, Taylor with no last name, Alicia Summers, Katie Kapler, Dee Pacheco, Zach Leopold, Wade Fleischacker, Emily Garish, Randy Glissman, Lindsay Behan. Oh, like the sheriff of fucking
Tombstone.
Ashley Brady, Noah Jackson, Alicia DiBattista. Was he sheriff? He was sheriff, wasn't he? And president of the anti-Chinese party.
The Anti-Chinese League.
Yeah. Nonpartisan
Anti-Chinese League.
We all hate him. Ashley Brady, Noah Jackson, Alicia DiBattista.
Not us, people in Tombstone.
They all hate him because they're nonpartisan. Pasha Stinson, Blake with no last name, Matt Locke. Is that right? Matt Locke. Your parents named you Matt when Matlock exists? That's crazy. Carrie with no last name, Michelle
shocking.
Hubbard. Kushal Kesta. Kush.
we know him.
Kush, he's terrific. He's a big Ravens
he's a good
fan.
dude.
Great guy, him and his dad. I love them both. Amanda Coaster, maybe Keister. Brandy Wilson, Liam Parker, Tevin Johnson, Marina Lindland, Sherry Combs, Declan Swans, Mark Jones. I don't know what that is.
Wow.
Samantha Redmond.
Elvis Costello's real name?
Possibly. Is that Declan Swans?
I think Declan
is
his real. I think Declan's his. I don't know his last name. I thought that was his real first name.
Hunter Pogue, Allison Rodenberg, Lynn Weir, Robin Grenz, Etta Mead, Erica Laberier. What? Laberier?
Yeah.
Don't look at
all
me.
Of those.
Holly with no last name. Patricia Troutman. Daniel Toner. Ryan with no last name. Isaac Allen. Lee Buckner. Carolyn Doughton maybe. Kira Schwartz. Kevin McCarthy. Fucking wow. Jimmie with no last name. Benjamin with no last name. Derp. Callie Mertens. Allison Legger. J.R. Acuna. Megan Mast, Jay Hutchins, terrific. Holly, nope, that's Molly. Molly Miller, Leslie Camargo, Logan Pawowski, Lena.
Something Polish.
Something Polish. I've been watching
Name
a
of
lot
deceased,
of Family Guy.
Something Polish. That's Night Shift.
I've been watching a lot of Family Guy, and he is just. God damn, if that show is not one of the best things that's ever been created. It is so good, and I'd sit and write all this shit and watch the show at the same time, not really watching, just writing, and then I hear something, and I just have to stop for a while because it's just amazing.
Ridiculous.
It's so good. Lena Patricia, Ryan Quick, Tracy Atkin, Adolph, what? Oliver Tit? I hope not.
Yeah,
Lauren.
I want Oliver Tit. Where are you?
Adolf. Adolf Oliver Tit. All right.
Oh.
You're a real dickhead for that one.
Wow.
Really?
Something.
I'm not proud of you.
No. You shouldn't be proud either, sir. Or ma'am. We don't know.
It's a man. You know that's a sir. For
That was
sure.
the joke. Yeah, obviously that's not a...
He's a real dick.
Yeah.
Lauren with no last name. Isabeau Blue. Heather Shore. Hayden Young. Jenny with no last name. Lori with no last name. B. Doe. Daryl Russell. Mary Morgan. Holly Heldreth. Rosie Parkour. Austin Hurley. Tony Yates. Colleen Shirley. Michelle Suwala. Becca Otto. Black Ice 23. Christopher Barker, Daisy Machado, Dan M, Milana Kobik, Evelyn Lancoin, I think. Evelyn, I don't know. Joanne Carlin, Jenny Grubba, Austin August B, Stacy Roy, Rhett Hone, Dulcie Hall, Olivia Rodriguez. Nope, that's Olivia Gonzalez. What?
What?
Why do I... My daughter and her bullshit music. Amanda Davis, Karen with no last name, Stephanie Roning, Ryan Walls, Morgan Little, Sky, SGB, Austin Green, and every one of our patrons. You guys are the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody. You fantastic, wonderful bastards out there. We appreciate all that you do for us.
Truly.
Thank you for keeping on and doing that. And keep coming back and keep doing that more as we will keep returning. You can't stop us. You want to follow us on social media, shutupandgivememurder.com has all the ways to do that. Keep hanging out with us live from the Crime and Sports Studios. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
If you like crime and sports, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this white Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. We're going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles,
A big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud,
sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
with a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.